society and the just government of humankind. We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, called to the performance of such important tasks in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament, assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation. And so just and faithful, amen, as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. All which we ask in the name and for the sake of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. I said amen. It's a Good Friday. Are there any notices of motion? The clerk will read first order of the day.
Agenda debate on motion on the second reading of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment number 3 Bill HB1 of 2026.
Thank you. When the debate was adjourned on the 4th of June, 2026, the question before the House was a motion by the Honorable Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs that the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3, HB1 2026 be now read a second time. Is there any further debate? I have been given a list here. Which does not debar anyone from debating. Yes, the naughty ones indicated that we said members of the opposition should not debate the bill yesterday. That is from the gutter press. And they'll pay for that. The first honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Chakurura.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, proceed, Honorable Mjoliwa.
Mr. Speaker, I note that the Honorable Minister of Justice is not in the House. And I'm just wondering who is actually going to be taking note of the contribution by members so that because procedurally he is then supposed to respond to the issues that members are going to raise. So maybe there may be someone who is standing on his behalf, I don't know, but I thought we needed to find out.
Good observation. The acting leader of government business this morning is Honorable Maletela. And as far as the minister taking notes, he doesn't take notes. All proceedings are recorded verbatim, and he will have to follow what is recorded in the Hansard. He is delayed elsewhere, but he should join us anytime. All right? Honorable Mjoliwa?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable Chakurura?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry,
Yes,
Chakukura.
Yes, Chakukura. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning.
Where are you? Oh, yeah, that side.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
the height, but I'm here.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the amendment bill number 3. This bill is necessary to strengthen the nation's governance framework. The bill is designed to refine the 2013 Constitution based on over a decade of practical experience. It is not an abandonment of the constitutional order, but a living evolution to improve governance and long-term national development. Mr. Speaker, a key feature is the extension of the presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 to 7 years, which would provide the government with sufficient time to implement major development programs without constant electoral disruptions. Furthermore, the proposed shift to a parliamentary system for electing the president is intended to reduce political polarization, promote consensus building, and strengthen accountability through continuous parliamentary oversight. This reform is not a unilateral decision. It follows a 90-day public consultation period that generated over thousands of written submissions, Mr. Speaker, marking it as one of the most widely participated in legislative processes in the country's history. Mr. Speaker, my worry is on the proposal contained in Clause 18 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3, which seeks to abolish the Zimbabwe Gender Commission by transferring its functions to the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. At the heart of this debate is a very simple question. What do we do with an institution that is working? When an institution fails, we reform it. When it does not deliver results, we change it. But when an institution delivers results, protects citizens, strengthens our laws, and advances our constitution, we do not abolish it, we strengthen it, Mr. Speaker. Over the past decade, the Commission has established itself as one of Zimbabwe's most effective constitutional institutions in advancing gender equality, protecting vulnerable groups, and promoting access to justice. Its achievements are not theoretical, they are real, they are measurable, and they have changed many lives. Mr. Speaker, for starters, through its advisory role, the Commission has helped shape some of the most important reforms affecting women, girls, and children in Zimbabwe. It contributed to reforms that strengthened the legal definition of a child as anyone below the age of 18. It advocated for the Marriage Act, which aligned our laws with the Constitutional Court judgment outlawing child marriages. It participated in the development of sentencing guidelines that ensure stronger punishment for perpetrators of sexual, particularly rape and gender-based violence. Mr. Speaker said, those reforms did not happen by accident. They happened because there was a specialized institution gathering evidence, listening to communities, identifying gaps in the law, and pushing for change. Today, thousands of girls are better protected for child marriage because of that work. Thousands of survivors have greater confidence in the justice system because of that work. Zimbabwe's laws are stronger because of that work. Mr. Speaker said, for years many women suffered harassment in silence because there were no clear protections and effective systems of accountability. Today, there are stronger legal protections, stronger workplace standards, and stronger institutional responses. That progress did not happen on its own. It happened because the Zimbabwe Gender Commission identified the problem, documented the evidence, and advocated for solutions. That is what effective constitutional institutions do. They turn lived experience into legal reforms. The Commission has investigated major cases involving both public and private institutions, demonstrating that accountability applies to everyone regardless of status or influence. It has also established a national call center and case management systems that allow citizens to report violence safely, efficiently, and free of charge. The question before us is simple. If this commission is abolished, who will provide the specialized service with the same focus and expertise? Mr. Speaker said, perhaps the strongest argument for retaining the commission is its work in rural, hard-to-reach communities. Through the Mobile One-Stop Center Access to Justice initiative, the Commission has taken services directly to the people, not to major cities only. Not only to provincial centers also, but to some of the most remote communities in our country. Working alongside government departments, health professionals, social welfare officers, police services, traditional leaders, and civil society organizations, the Commission has helped nearly 10,000 survivors access to justice, healthcare, counseling, and documentation, and economic empowerment opportunities. That is what constitutional rights looks like in practice, Mr. Speaker. If we abolish the commission, we risk weakening a system that has helped criminalize sexual harassment, combat child marriage, strengthen access to justice, support thousands of survivors, influence major legal reforms, and bring constitutional rights to some of the most remote communities in Zimbabwe. Mr. Speaker said that would not be progress. That would be a step backward. The proper response to success is not abolition. The proper response to success is support. The proper response to success is strengthening what works. For these reasons, I urge this House to support the retention of the Zimbabwe Gender Commission and reaffirm its constitutional mandate as a specialized institution dedicated to advancing gender equality, protecting vulnerable citizens, and strengthening our democracy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Tuesday, I listened very attentively to the Minister of Justice and Legal Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziambi, make a case of constitutional amendment bill number 3. We are on opposite sides of the bench, but I must say Honorable Ziambi made a compelling case of CAP 3. He pitched the debate very high. He made all of us take step back and engage with CAP 3 for what it actually says. Mr. Speaker, sir, our country is in an important crossroad. We must put the collective interest of our fellow citizens first. Zimbabwe is our country, a country born out of a bitter war of national liberation. We must preserve our national unity, security and stability. We must build a new national consensus based on a shared common understanding of our future. Mr. Speaker, sir, Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 has ignited a nationwide rigorous debate. Our citizens are to be applauded for exercising their citizenship duty to speak on matters of national common interest. As our party has already indicated, I support the spirit and the intent of CAP 3, so that I do not repeat things which have been already said. Allow me to address just a few aspects of the bill. On electoral cycling, I do not think there is anyone who can contest that our country has, without exception, held elections which have been toxic. Our elections have caused a lot of suffering for many innocent citizens. Some have died, some have lost their houses, and in some instances, members of the same family have fought over politics. This should end. We need to have a country of peace, stability, and prosperity. In my view, if we increase the election cycle from the current 5 years to 7 years, as the bill proposed, we give our country peace, stability, and security. We protect our people from violence, which I have spoken about. Peace is absolutely a necessity. I am confident that as we continue to build our country in peace and stability, the future of election will be held in an environment of mature politics. We need to pause from toxic politics. We must avoid putting our citizens in unnecessary harm's way. Mr. Speaker, sir, I must be understood properly. I am saying between now and the next election, we must increase political tolerance by deliberate government and lead voters' education. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me also support the bill insofar as it says the president of the country must be elected by Parliament. This reduces political tension that I have stated already. If members of Parliament are elected by citizens in a free and fair election, the results will be legitimate will of our people. And these members of Parliament can then elect the president clearly. This reduces political tension. We must always remember that if members of Parliament can legitimately remove the head of state by impeachment and do so representing our citizens, then the same members of Parliament should be able to elect the president. On change of mandate of election records to the registrar office, Mr. Speaker, sir, the custodians of our voters' roll, the registrar office, should start now to prepare for coming election. They should hold citizens' records properly and transparent. We should not have the disputes which we had during the time of Mr. Tobai Wamdele.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, on a point of order.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir. The honorable member is repeating what was said yesterday by the members from ZANU-PF, and it's actually repetitive, which is against the standing rules.
Honorable member, order. There are many ways of killing a cat. Please proceed. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. By this then, Mr. Speaker, sir, I agree that the mandate for keeping records for elections should be transferred to the Registrar's Office. While we are at it, Mr. Speaker, sir, since the Registrar's Office is responsible for the population register and the issuing of national identity documents, I promise that as soon as a person is issued a national identity number, the Registrar's Office must immediately register such a person on the voters' roll. By this, Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm proposing that voting age should be reduced to 16 years. We must include young people in the civic affairs of the country. This is in line with the new trend in established democracies like Australia, where voting age has been reduced to 16 years. Since there are changes to methods of voting for national leadership and changes for longer electoral cycles, we should increase the pool of citizens who are able to vote in any election. On referendum, Mr. Speaker, sir, I have listened to the explanation of the Minister of Justice and about the difference between term limit and the electoral cycle. I have understood the explanation and it makes sense to me. I agree that these changes that are being done in the national interest to hold a referendum in an environment in we are saying is not conducive for election is counterproductive. On Gender Commission, Mr. Speaker, sir, as the Deputy Chairperson of the ZWPC, the family unit remains the center of everything. Rights of men, women, and our relationship of men and women are in this modern area of changes. In gender roles is any area which requires special attention. Mr. Speaker, sir, while we have made significant progress, we are still far from realizing rights of women and the rights of girl child. Doing away with the Gender Commission is taking a million steps backwards. Instead of removing the Gender Commission, we should strengthen it. We should allocate more human and financial resources.
Thank you.
On traditional leaders, Mr. Speaker, so let me come to the issue of traditional leaders. Are respected institutions in our communities, particularly in rural areas. They should remain above politics. I therefore do not agree with the clause that seeks to allow traditional leaders to be in politics. I do not think that we should waste too much time on that clause. The clause is simple and workable. Mr. Speaker, sir, we know that some citizens of Zimbabwe are genuinely opposed to the Constitutional Bill number 3, and the clauses most contentious are those relating to the method of electing the president and the head of the states. With these genuine differences notwithstanding, we must continue to explore means of creating reasonable consensus on all matters relevant to our political hygiene. We implore all sectors of society to exercise political flexibility and reach compromises. It is possible to exercise fidelity to the obvious stated goals of finishing the objectives of the national liberation struggle and compromising on some objective clauses in Constitutional Bill number 3. There are moments in history where compromises are enforced by objective conditions. To that end, we propose that, erratically linked to the passing into law of CAP 3, all parties reach reasonable consensus on national priorities to be undertaken by the Zimbabwe state from the date of enactment of the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. Mr. Speaker, say if we cannot agree on how those who govern us are to be elected, or let us at least agree on how we are governed. This graduates our politics from politics of personalities to substantive policy issues. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I propose that by no later than 30 days after the enactment of the CAP 3, the National Peace and Reconciliation Commission or Human Rights Commission should convene a national governance covenant conference to hear and adopt the national priorities to be undertaken by the state. This conference is to be attended by all sectors of society. The resolution of this conference shall be bind all organs of state. To ensure that this happens and no one reneges on this, Mr. Speaker, let there be a national consensus suspensive clause. This clause will be in the transitional schedule and shall provide for the commencement date of Constitutional Amendment Act 3. This date shall be date on which the conference adopts commonly agreed in national priorities. Mr. Speaker, now that we would change the electoral cycle and agreed on national governance covenant, each would be step in uniting our people who, if we are to have a government of national consensus, this government will focus on the development and project completion which the bill has promised our citizens. Lastly, I agree that we should increase the jurisdiction of the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court should be able to deal with the matters of the national interest. However, Mr. Speaker, I wish to add that we should increase the jurisdiction of the Constitutional Court to give it power to hear all matters relating land in Zimbabwe, as well as all disputes which happened in Matebeleland. By this, Mr. Speaker, we ensure that we preserve the gains of the land reform process. We protect especially women-headed homes and families which received land during the land reform process. The land reform process must be declared for all to know that it is irreversible and continuous. By this, we can also ensure that the unresolved issues of Gukurahundi has the attention of the Constitutional Court. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Spanda. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Makope.
Maita basa mbatu wechigaro nokutipa mukana ukuisawo manzwi pachinyorwa chiri pakati pedare rino chekebi 3. Ndingada kutanga nokuzivisa mbatu wechigaro kuti ini ndinobva kuMwenezi North Constituency, ndo kune vanhu vanotituma. Pakataurwa nezuro nachairman veportfolio committee, vakaburisa rwendo rwavakafamba. Zviro kwazvo vakasvikawo nekumatunhu kwatinogara. Vanhu vakauya nouwandu hwavo. Pavanhu vanotaurwa apo vakanga vachipa muono wavo, vekumwenezi vakapawo muono wavo vakawanda zvikuru. Hapana kana mumwe chete akati chinyorwa ichi haachidi. Vese vakati vanochida. Tasara zvakare semhuri taisangana pakasiyana siyana, ndidzo nyaya dzinongotaurika mazuva ano. Nyaya yangu ichingova yekuti imwe MP vedu ndimasara kuzonotaura kana yava mudare reParliament musati rasisa. Isu tiri kuti tinorida rakadaro, maklozi ose akadaro. Ndichazongotaura mavonero avo pane agenda commission. Ndisati ndapinda zvakare mukati zvavakati nditaure ndichiita, ndoda kutanga kutenda gurukota rinoona nezvemutemo nekufambiswa kwamashoko edare reparamende vakafambisa chinhu ichi zvakanaka, nokuti tasvika pari zvino tiri mugwara rinofanira kuti tinge tichifamba naipapo. Pakaita mhepo dzakawanda dzataiona tichiverenga dzamamwe matunhu, vamwe vachiti dei kwaita iya referendum, tichingozvinzwawo kwedu kwanga kusina izvozvo. Saka mhepo iyoyo takazombozvifungawo ndiri ndega kuti kana minista vanga vakateedzera zvemhepo idzodzo, dai nhasi uno mubato wechigaro iva vaida referendum vangadai vari pakati pematare edzimhosva nhasi vachipomedzera gurukota redu remutemo vachiti makashandisa referendum pasingade referendum. Vangadai izvozvi vachitaura nezvesection 16 inotaura nezvevhu, nezvesection 4 inotaura nezvemahuman rights pamwe chete ne328 vachizvishandisa seumbowo hwekuti minista havana kufambisa zvakanaka. Zvino minista vakafamba gwara chairo chairo. Saka toda kuvatenda nenyaya idzodzo dzavakaita. Tichitarisa, ndachimbofunga zvangu muenzaniso watingapa mubato wechigaro kuti tese vanhu vakawanda vanofamba nemotikari yoponja mavhiri, iwe woda kusunungura mabhaudhi aya evhiri rako, iwe ari namba 16, woda kushandisa chipanera chenamba 18, harisununguki. Zuva rinobuda rikadoka uchingobva kusunungura. Saka apa hapadi chipanera chereferendum, panoda chipanera chakashandisiwa ichochi. Chero tikazvitarisa mubato wechigaro, dei yanga yakangoitwa referendum yacho, vanhu veruzhinji vaingotaura pfungwa dzavo sezvavakangotaura vachiita, hapana chaimbosanduka. Saka ndinoda kuti titende ipapo. Ndinoda kuti nditsigire nyaya yokuti nditsanangure, nditange ndajekesa iyo nyaya yemwaka yambototaurawo navamwe. Ndichangoitaurawo napafupi nekuti yakataura zvakanyanya kuti mwaka wawedzerwa mazuva hazvireve kuti mwaka yawedzera. Mwaka wakapiwa mutungamiriri wenyika yeZimbabwe kuti vatungamirire varipo nevachauya mwaka miviri chete. Asi mumwaka uyoyo ndio makazowedzerwa mazuva kubva pamakore 5 kuti aende kumakore 8 chete. Ndoda kupa zvakare muenzaniso nokuti ndinoona kuti kana ndipa muenzaniso ndojekesa kuti vamwe vakawanda vanzwisise. Ndakamboita murayiridzi mubato wechigaro. Pane nguva yapfuura, makore apfuura, takanga tichimbova pakata chirwere chedziwa chainzi COVID-19. Chirwere ichocho chaita kuti pamunovhura nekuvhara zvikoro madhetsi acho asiyana. Saka ndinodorangarira rimwe gore kwakanzi chikoro chinofanira kuvharwa musi wa4 August, itemu yepiri iyoyo. Ndobva zvazonzi aiwa chivharai kuna 29 August nokuti chirwere chingangozonyanya kuvako muna December. Saka toda kuti vana vambowana mukana wokudzidza mutemu yepiri. Saka isi tova kunonyoresa date mukirasi navana vechikoro semurayiridzi. Pane here pandaizononyoresa date rokuti tava mu3rd term kana uri musi wa29 August? Aiwa, ini takangononyoresa date rokuti 29 August itemu repiri, asi rakawedzerwa mazuva kubva musi wa4 August kusvika musi wa20. Ndozvakakunana papa, hapa goniti munhu arasike. Saka ndo inongova second term, mwaka unongova wechipiri unopuwa mutungamiriri wenyika. Zvakare ndinoda kuti mubato wechigaro ndijekese kuti panogadzirwa mutemo haurambo wakamira pamwe chete, unosanduka mazuva nomwaka uchienderana nezvinoitika mazuva iwayo, zveufumi namagariro avanhu nekutungamirirwa kwenyika. Saka isu takatarisawo mutemo wedu hauna kunangana nokuti unotarisa pamusoro paMP uriko kuparamendi kana kuti president varipo pachigaro. Aiwa bodo, unotarisa na president achazovuya mumwaka inotevera, magenerations nemagenerations achauya. Saka toda kuti kana tichinotaura nekudebata nekutsanangura hurukuro iyi, vanhu vave nemweya wekusatarisa kuti MP vari kutaura honorable Makope vanodaro nokuti ivo vari kuparliament vanoda kuramba variko. Aiwa, achizoyaiso nyaya yacho iyoyo. Ndoda pane zvakawanda zvakataura mbato wechigaro maringe nokuti tinoda kuti parliament ichiva iyo inosarudza mutungamiriri wenyika. Handingadzokorori zvakawanda zvakataurwa vanhu vachitsigira chirongwa ichocho. Ndingangoda kuwedzerera padoko doko pekuti takatarisa vanhoroondo patakabva pamashure apa, vanhu vaida kuita mapurezidendi vakadombosvika 100. Handiti mazuva iwayo kana tichikwikwidzana muzvigaro vanodombopanana zita iro vanenge vachitonziwo mapurezidendi, zvokuti kwose kwose kwavaifamba vaingonzwa kuti your excellency, your excellency, nokuwanda kwavanga vakaita. Asi ndobva vazoti saka takanga chifunga kuti kana isu toenda kunogadzira riya bepa ratovhotera rinonzi ballot paper rinonyoreka sei nevanhu 50, vanenge vakawandisa zvokuti chero achipinda muyama anoda kunovhotera munhu uya muchinomupa unovhura mapeji namapeji achitsvaka president wake, potopedzisira tava nemamwe mapepa anenge asina kuvhotiwa zvakanaka. Saka iyo kuti tinouya muno poitwa minongedzo yokuti tinoda vanhingi, handinoboniso kuti ingatipedzera mari yakawanda nenguva yakawanda pamwe chete nokuti vhiringidza pakuvhota. Saka tinoitsigira saizvo. Mubato wechigaro ipa handichadi kupedzapo nguva yakawanda nokuti pakabvumburudziwa chose. Regai ndingotarisawo panyaya yekutungamirira kwekunoita madzimambo nechirevo chirimo mubhiri chokuti vanofanirawo kuti tivachipuwa mukana wakazara wokupinda mune zvematongerwo enyika vakasununguka. Muono wandinawo newo wandakamirira unoti chirongwa ichi chakanaka zvikuru nokuti kuti tinzwisise nyaya iripo kuda ndingada kudzokera kumashure zvishoma nekupa nhoroondo yenyika yeZimbabwe. Munhoroondo yedu munobuda madzimambo namasvikiro vari ivo vatungamiriri vehondo yerusununguko vachirwa kuti vasatorerwa ivhu ravo, nokuti chinonzi nyika mubato wechigaro ivhu navanhu varo. Saka tinoona vana mbuya nehanda, vana sekuru Kaguvi, vana Mambolo Bengula vachirwisa vapambe pfumi vari mberi. Tinoda kuti vaita zvamatongerwo enyika ipapo. Mufunge mubato wechigaro mukatarisa Mambolo Bengula vakanga vachitosaina zvibvumirano tingati matreaties, nana Radhi nana Mofati vachitombotumawo nhume dzavo kuenda kunoona vana Queen uko atingati mainvoyi iko zvino. Saka vakanga vachitova nezvematongerwo enyika zvakasimba. Iko kunoti kadzoka mukatarisa vana vaTangwena, vana vamangwende, vakanga vachirwa muhondo yerusununguko kusvikira vagadzira vana vavo vana Chingaira, vana Ndwena, vakagadzira vana vavo kuti vana vedu chipindai mune zvematongerwo enyika mugadzire mapato. Ivo vatinawo manhasi yedu.
On a point of order, Mr. Yes.
What? Is Honorable Amauswa.
Naichida kungobatsirawo honorable member kuti vadi kungodzosera nyika yacho kumachief.
I didn't quite get your point of order.
Ndoda kusumukawo kubetsera honorable member kuti zvakanaka tingodzosera nyika yacho kumachief nekuti ndovene vayo ma-MP orega kutonga.
Order. That's not order. That's not a point of order. It's a point of debate. Why don't you wait for your time to debate? Huh? Honorable member, please continue.
Mazvita mubato wechigaro regai ndiindirire mberi. Ndanga ndichitaura pamusoro pekukosha kwakanga kuchiita madzimambo edu, ndichitaura nyaya yokuti vagadzira mapato. Tinoona mapato anogadzirwa akafanana neZAPU neZANU nemarevolutionarist edu atati navo, vana vaMugabe, vana vaChitepo navaMnangagwa vatinavo nhasi uno, vakanga vachizadzisa zvakanga zvichidiwa namadzimambo. Ndo akanga aita sungawirirano iyoyo yokuti ngatifambei takadai. Tinozosvika muna 1980 mubato wechigaro, vanhu vesununguko nevava vandataura vanhu vehondo, vatungamiriri vehondo, tinogadzira hurumende kana kuti government. Saka pane hochekoche nesungawirirano pakati pamambo tozoti vatungamiriri vehondo yerusununguko pamwe chete nehurumende. Saka chinotanga madzimambo ozvara vatungamiriri vehondo yerusununguko neuto racho. Vatungamiriri vehondo yerusununguko neuto vanozozvara hurumende yatinayo nhasi pano. Saka zvinhu izvi zvine ukama, kana ukabvisa chimwe chacho panosara pasina kumira zvakanaka. Saka kubvisa madzimambo pane zvematongerwo enyika kuvabvisa pachinhu chavakatanga ivo, chavagara vachiita ivo. Pane kuhira kunogona kuvapo, ndichitaurawo zvangu muono unogona kunge uchiitwawo navamwe vanotaura hurukuro iyi wokuti mambo hazokwanisi kutungamirira achienzanisa nokuti mapato togona kurwisana pakati pevanhu vamapato akasiyana. Aiwa, munhu kana angonzi mambo anoziva bhachi raakapfeka, anoziva mafambiro aanoita. Imo muno tine vamwe vedu vari muno vamiriri veparamende, asi vane zvimwe zvigaro zvavanga vainazvo, asi kana toita basa reparamende tinongoriita semamiriro anofanira kunge richiita. Kana ndiri kumusha ndiri mumiriri weparamende, handizoti ava ndevebato iri, ava ndevebato iri. Ndinenge ndakatungamirira vana vangu vese muconstituency imomo. Saka ndo zvinongozongoitawo madzimambo. Ndinotsigira zvakanyanya kuti aiwa regai zvakadaro. Ndopedzisira negender commission. Muono ndowokuti dai tambo regai yakadaro nenyaya yokuti muono muriko mukuru ndowokuti basa rainaro ranga rakakura zvikuru. Chayanga ichitadza kuwana imari yakakwana yokuti ifambise mabasa iwayo. Zvino kana yazonoputirwa muimba huru iyo yatati yemahuman rights, iyo segender commission aichazonobudisi zvakawanda nokuti inenge yatominywa. Zvinoreva kuti even mari yacho yekuti vakwanise kuzoita zvavanofanira kunge vachiita hazvizonyanyi kubuda zvakanaka nokuti yanga yagara ichikamina. Saka kumboirega yakadaro ichipuwa mabasa ayo yakazvimiririra zvinoita kuti izadzikise zvishuviro nezvido zvevana veZimbabwe zvavanoitarisira kuti inge ichiita. Ndo muono watiinawo ipapo. Vebato wechigaro ndoda kukutendai nokupawo muono kwangu wandaita. Ndakamirira zvakare vakumwe neziNorth vakandituma, asi nsati ndagara pasi mubato wechigaro ndoda kuti nditende president vedu vakatipa zvibhorani zvinosvika izvo 32 mavhibheyo ari kuitwa izvezvi. Saka haungakoni kutenda chinhu chakanaka. Ndo zvimwe zvezvoita kuti vanhu vati regai varambe varipo vambopedzisa ndima yavo. Tatenda.
The next can you lower your whispers, please? The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable P. Uldande, to be followed by Honorable Chigumbu. My apologies.
Livuke njani, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise to aid my voice in support of Constitution Amendment Bill number 3. I will debate 5 clauses. Firstly, presidential election by Parliament. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this clause, members of Parliament and senators will elect the president instead of holding a direct public vote. This saves money. National elections cost over 100 million US dollars, yet a parliament vote costs almost nothing. The funds saved can cover several projects. It also reduces violence. Direct elections often cause disputes, but a parliament vote is quick and peacefully. Further, it promotes unity. The president must secure support from MPs across the country, ensuring cooperation with Parliament from day one. Results are immediate, with no 6-week delays for counting and court cases. I will always give an example of Chimanimani, the people I represent. Money saved can help in accelerating the completion of Cyclone Idai recovery projects, which include Runyararo housing projects, among others. Mr. Speaker, sir, my second debate focuses on term extension from 5 to 7 years. This clause extends presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 to 7 years. It allows leaders to complete projects, and Vision 2030 targets requires time. A 7-year term prevents half-built projects. It means more governing and less campaigning. Leaders will spend more time working and less time seeking re-elections. It also builds investors' confidence. Stability attracts factories and creates jobs. Countries like Rwanda and Venezuela have 7-year presidential terms, and Rwanda is now among Africa's fastest growing economies. In our case, 7 years provides time to finish the Risitu Valley irrigation scheme, repair Chimanimani, Mutare Road, and build disaster-proof clinics without elections interruptions. Mr. Speaker, sir, my third debate centers on voter registration by Registrar General, not ZEC. This clause transfers voters' registration to the Registrar Office. It creates a one-stop shop. The RRG already issues IDs and birth certificates, making registration faster for citizens. It cuts duplications, one system instead of 2, saves taxpayer money. Mr. Speaker, sir, it ensures year-round access. RRG offices operate in every district throughout the year, unlike ZEC's temporal mobile centers. Villagers in our constituencies can now register a local RRG office instead of waiting for mobile ZEC terms. My fourth debate looks at restructuring Gender Commission and NPRC. Mr. Speaker, sir, this clause merges commissions to improve efficiency. It saves money by removing duplication of salaries, vehicles, and offices. It enables faster decisions. Fewer bodies mean less bureaucracy and quicker resolution of complaints. A single stronger body can respond faster to women and youth affected by cyclones and resolve disputes over humanitarian aid. My last debate is on traditional leadership, conduct and jurisdiction. Mr. Speaker, sir, this clause provides clear rules defining chiefs' powers. It protects our culture. Chiefs become official partners in development, and can defend secure sites. It delivers fast local justice. Disputes can be resolved quicker without lengthy court process. For an example, this empowers chiefs to stop illegal mining activities and mediate land disputes in resettlement areas quicker. Mr. Speaker said, CAP 3 saves money, brings stability, and takes services closer to the people. In our case, it means better roads, peace, and a strong voice. I strongly support this bill. I submit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The next Honorable Member, as I indicated earlier on, is Honorable Chigumbu.
Ndotenda mbatu wechigaro, ndotenda nemukana wamandipa, ndigotenda kuvepo kwenyu pachigaro kutondisimudzira mbatu wechigaro. Imba ino inenge yakadzikama, ndinotenda neleadership yenyu. Ini ndichataura mbatu wechigaro ndakamirira vagari vekubudiriro south kwandinobva. Ndichiti mbatu wechigaro pasina kana kupokana kana kunzvenga kana kuhwanda nechigunwe. Vanhu vekubudiriro vakaramba CAP 3 havasi kuida. Ndakambovabvunza mbatu wechigaro kuti pane here zvimwe zvamungada zviri paCAP 3, vakaramba zvose mbatu wechigaro. Hapana kana 1 chavari kuda pazvese zvikutaurwa izvi mbatu wechigaro. Asi handingazopedza kudhibheta nyaya idzi dzose. Ndichabata dzandichagona kubata, asi ndichada kutangira pane yandingati donzo sekutaurwa kwazvakaitwa naMinista veJustice kuti sei vakazofunga kuti tinge tiine kuvandudza kana kuwedzera pabhiri. Nyaya yekutanga yavanotaura mbatu wechigaro, vanotaura nyaya yekuti ma-elections anokonzeresa nyongano. Vanotaura kuti ma-elections anokonzeresa kusapokana. Saka ivo vanotiwa, saka kuti tibvise kusapokana kwema-elections, ngatitomabvisei. Iyi haisi pfungwa yakanaka mbatu wechigaro. Nekuti tikatarisa nhoroondo yenyika ino, dambudziko.
Point of order. Point of order.
Yes. Point of order.
Yes. The point of order, Mr. Speaker, is when somebody decides to quote what was said, they should not quote out of context. If somebody decides to quote what I said, they must quote everything that I said and then conclude. But to say that in my speech, Mr. Speaker said, there is not a single sentence that said, let's do away with elections. I submit.
Honorable Member, we have the Hansard, so you must be guided by the actual statement that was made so that you can debate from an informed position. The Hansard is available, so please be guided by it if you want to make quotation of what has been said yesterday. Please proceed.
Ndotenda mbatu wechigaro. Ndienderere mberi ndichiti. Takaita
Point of order.
Honorable Member, akapfurira mberi nekudhibheta asina kumedza mazwi ake ataura.
Order. Order. Can you repeat your point of order?
Point of order yangu iri kuti Honorable Member ngamedze mazwi ake anyembera Minister.
Order. Order. Ngaite sei.
mazwi akhe ataura iye kuti varoda kubvisa ma-election.
Oh, I see. Oh, see. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, you have to withdraw. The Honorable Minister didn't say the elections must be done away with.
ndotenda mbato wechigaro.
Can you withdraw that statement?
Rega ndi withdraw ndichigadzirisa.
Can you withdraw without any appendage?
I withdraw, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Please, can you proceed?
Ndinotenda mbato wechigaro. Ndichienderera mberi mbato wechigaro ndenge ndaapa pfungwa yekuti munyika muno maitwa ma-elections akawanda mbato wechigaro. Chinokonzeresa kupokana kana kusawirirana pandikwa ma-elections mbato wechigaro haasi ma-elections iwo pachezvawo. Mukada kutarisa kwatiri su mbato wechigaro takaita data science tinoona kuti zviri kufamba sei muzviitiko. Tinogona kukuudzai mbato wechigaro kuti dingindira riripo pose panoitwa mhirizhonga pama-elections mbato wechigaro iZANU-PF. Mukatarisa mbato wechigaro, mukatarisa mbato
Order. Just a minute. Just a minute. Order. Just a minute.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, please take your seat.
Pardon?
Can you take your seat?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Honorable Member, again, this refers to the issue of being actual. Don't make reckless statements because there is no evidence of what you are saying. Can you proceed?
Ndinotenda mbato wechigaro. Pfungwa yandanga ndiri kuda kuburitsa mbato wechigaro ndeyekuti mukatarisa tine mapato akawanda.
Yes, point of order. Honorable Matangira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Say, the honorable member must withdraw because here we are not talking about parties, we are talking about the bill. He must withdraw. I so submit. It's a serious allegation.
Allow him to debate a political party. We have not talked about the party.
Honorable Member, as per my ruling, there is no evidence put forward. So the statement needs to be withdrawn.
It's a very serious allegation.
Honorable Speaker, I think I'm being bullied here. I didn't accuse ZANU-PF. I'm simply saying.
Order.
Yes.
You accuse ZANU-PF. They allow a liar to continue saying no.
Okay. Order. Honorable Member, can you withdraw the statement?
Okay, ndamedza mashoko angu.
Thank you.
Ndamedza mashoko angu mbato wechigaro. Rega ndimhanye mbato wechigaro, nyaya yatinayo yakakosha. Nyika yose yakateerera mbato wechigaro. Rega ndimhanye mbato wechigaro. Ndichitini chiri kudiwa pano kuti tiregedze kuva neungano, tiregedze kuva ne
Point of clarity.
Honorable Member.
Point of clarity, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable Joe.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Toda ngonzwa kumbato wechigaro kuti member inopiwa anopiwa warnings mangani kuti withdraw kuitira kuti asazoramba achidzokoro. Yeah.
Order. 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 The general rule is 3. So the honorable member.
On a point of clarity.
Point of clarity.
Order.
Point of clarity.
Order.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker. Point of privilege. Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I have not finished my ruling. Can you sit down? Honorable member, if you continue making statements that are unsubstantiated, then I will ask you to sit down. Can you proceed?
Ndotenda mbato wechigaro. Rega ndimhanye nenyaya mbato wechigaro. Sekutara kwandaita nyaya yakakosha. Mbato wechigaro. Ndanga ndiri kuti ini hatigone kugadzirisa dambudziko rehovhiyo kana kuti mhirizhonga inoitika pama-elections nekuedzera nemakore mairi. Hatigone kugadzirisa dambudziko iri mubato wechigaro nenzira iyoyo. Nzira yakanaka yekugadzirisa dambudziko iri mubato wechigaro kuve neatingati pachirungu ma-electoral reforms. Simple. Zvidiki mubato wechigaro hazvisi kumboda bhiri, zviri kungoda tingova nema-electoral reforms. Number 2, mubato wechigaro.
Mr. Speaker, a point of order. I think I have to be heard. I have to be heard on this one.
Order. Honorable Minister.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, nowhere was it mentioned that we are solving the problem of electoral violence by extending the term. It's not, nowhere was it said. And I challenge that even if we go to be answered, I never said in my speech we are solving the problem of electoral violence through increasing. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. And be put on record.
Point of order,
it must withdraw because no one said that.
Honorable member, can you be orderly?
Yeah, but we are raising a point of order, Mr. Speaker. The minister is responding. You gave the time to respond.
Order.
He gave the speech. He will respond at the time.
Order.
No,
Honorable
Speaker,
member.
don't allow that.
Honorable member, in terms of our standing orders, when you have a member on the floor, you cannot intervene. You wait until. If you are going to argue with me, I'm going to throw you out of the house. Follow the standing orders. The honorable minister was on the floor. You wait until it's finished and then I make a ruling. That's the procedure. Honorable member, I am advising you that let's follow our standing orders. When a member is on the floor, in this case it was the honorable minister, you cannot raise a point of order until the honorable member is finished. When the honorable minister was trying to put the record straight. Thank you.
Tenda mbato wechigaro. Ngendira chimhanya mbato wechigaro. So fungo yandinayo mbato wechigaro ndeyekuti ngatigadzirisei zvinotinetsa tisingawedzere makore mairi. Ndobata imwe pfungwa zvekare yanga iri kubuda mbato wechigaro. Pfungwa yekuti nekuti mutungamiri wenyika ndiMbape vamu 18 area vakunogohwesa saka ngatisavatorerei nguva. Hatigone kurarama tichidaro mubato wechigaro.
Order.
of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Who is raising a point of order? Who is raising a point of order?
Parliament, Mr. Speaker.
You don't raise a point of order while the chair is speaking.
Thank you.
Can you sit down? Honorable member, this is the third time I'm advising you. You cannot say the Honorable, His Excellency the President is Zimbabwe. Order. Can you take the floor and withdraw the Mbappe issue?
Point of order.
Honorable Speaker.
You are pointing, I don't see what you are pointing at.
Honorable. Point of order.
Order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order. I have said the honorable member should withdraw. That's my ruling.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I withdraw, Honorable Speaker. So, pfungwa yangu, Honorable Speaker, ndeyekuti mukatarisa vakawanda vari kutitungamira muzuva ranhasi vakaenda kuhondo vakatambudzika zvisingaite vari kuhondo. Hondo yakapera 1980 mubato wechigaro. Vanhu ivavo mubato wechigaro vakawanda vava havana zombobvira vadzokera kugeto kana kumaruzevha, vanogara kumasabhabha mubato wechigaro. Havagone kunzwisisa nhamo dzatinosangana nadzo kumasabhabha mubato wechigaro. Kuti musimuke muchiti mimi mubato wechigaro zvinhu zvakanaka mukati menyika mubato wechigaro. Hatigone kutaura nyaya yemubato wechigaro kana taenda kumuchato wechigananda kana kuti tikaona makapa ezvigananda mubato wechigaro. Kana muchida kunzwisisa nyaya yemubato wechigaro.
Point of order. Point of order.
Kana muchida kunzwisisa nyaya
Order. Honorable member, you are casting aspersions again, and I am not allowing you to continue. Thank you. Honorable Mtodi, take the floor.
On a point of order. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
There is no point of order. Honorable Mtodi has not spoken.
No. It's actually Mr. Speaker.
Order. Can you sit down?
On a matter of precedent.
Can you sit down?
But it's a matter of precedent. We need to.
Can you sit down? Honorable Mtodi has said no word, and you want to come up with a point of order. That's unprocedural. Honorable Mtodi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bedrock of our republic is res publica, which is the public thing. Section 2, subsection 1 declares this constitution to be supreme law, and section 3, subsection 2c grounds our authority in Vox Populi, Vox Dei. The voice of the people is supreme. Honorable Speaker, our electoral system flows from section 124 and section 155, which provide for universal suffrage.
Hold on. Sergeant at Arms, can you check what's happening? Can you check Sergeant Arms, the one who's tampering with the lightning? Honorable Tony, please take the floor. Can we hear the honorable member in silence, please?
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to the debate on Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bedrock of our republic is res publica, which is the public thing. Section 2, subsection 1 declares this constitution as the supreme law. Section 3, subsection 2c grounds our authority in vox populi, vox dei, which means the voice of the people is supreme. Our electoral system flows from section 124 and section 155, which provide for universal suffrage, periodic elections, and representative democracy. However, res publica does not mandate direct democracy on every issue. Rather, it mandates that sovereignty is exercised by the people through their representatives, which they elect. That is the foundation of potestas delegata populi, power delegated by the people. Honorable Speaker, the justa causa for this amendment lies in our electoral history. Since the year 2013, Zimbabwe has had 3 presidential elections. Each of them has been disputed twice. And this has resulted in those petitions being delivered in this august house. Examples being Tsvangirai versus Mugabe in 2013 and Chamisa versus Mnangagwa in 2018. Yet parliamentary elections have generated very little contention. One would ask why. This is because, Honorable Speaker, the direct presidential ballot under Section 92 concentrates stakes, cost, and litigation in one contest. The weaknesses are glaring. 1, polarization. Honorable Speaker, the winner-takes-all presidency creates a zero-sum contest. 2, cost and disruption. National elections every 5 years divert budget and policy focus from service delivery. And 3, succession gaps. Section 101 forces a 90-day election upon a vacancy in the office of the president, an exercise which is expensive and rushed. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, these are not political complaints. There are structural defects in Section 92 and Section 110 as currently framed in our Constitution. Salus populi suprema lex esto therefore applies, and it means the welfare of the people must be supreme law. When a structure repeatedly produces a crisis, just a cause exists to amend it under Section 328. Let me now go to the clause that talks about Parliament as an electoral college. Honorable Speaker, this bill proposes amending Section 92 so as the President is elected by Parliament, not by direct popular ballot. Honorable Speaker, this is not a new democratic practice, as countries such as South Africa, India, Germany, and the UK elect their head of government through Parliament. The doctrine that supports this is qui facit per aliam facit per se. And it means that he who acts through another acts himself. If you did an act through one's hand, you have done it yourself. MPs are elected under universal suffrage in Section 155, and when 280 MPs vote, they are not voting for themselves. They are potestas delegata, exercising power delegated to them by 5 million plus voters. Vox populi Vox populi is therefore not diminished. It is rather institutionalized. Parliamentary election increases accountability, because under section 97 and 98, the same parliament can remove a president who loses confidence. The question that arises is quis custodiet ipsos custos, or who watches the watchers, who guards the guards. With this new model proposed under Cap 3, Parliament answers that question. I now move on to the clause that deals with the extension of term from 5 to 7 years. Honorable Speaker, this bill extends the presidential and parliamentary terms from 5 to 7 years. Honorable Speaker, the doctrine applicable here is tempus legit acta, which means time governs the act. A 5-year cycle creates perpetual electoral mode. However, 7 years allow government to fulfill Section 13 national objectives and Section 76 to 77 socio-economic rights without budget disruption every 48 months. Again, the government doctrine is lex posterior delegat priori. A later law repeals an earlier one. Section 328 gives...
Order. Honorable members, shall we keep our whispers low and allow the honorable member to debate in silence, please?
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable Mavudzi, are you aware that you are speaking to the Speaker of Parliament? Do you think you cannot address the chair sitting down and without being recognized? We only do that when we are in a beer hall, but in this house, no. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing me.
Please.
Actually,
Mr. Speaker, I did not recognize you. Take your seat. Please, let's have a bit of respect for the House and allow the honorable member to debate in silence. Honorable Mtodi, please carry on.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of
Honorable
order.
Chigumbu.
Yes.
You don't make a point of order from a ruling from the Speaker. It's not admissible.
Point of privilege, Honorable Speaker.
What is your point of privilege?
Ndida kuti ndinzwe kuti vamutodi vari kutaura language ipi ilingala here ilatin here ndozi vatu vanomboimba rumba saka ngavatitsanangura hatisi kunzwa isu kuti ilanguage ipi yavari kutaura.
Right. Order. Honorable Chigumbu, I think there is a time for playing and a time for being serious. There's also a time for respect, and you cannot refer to the rumba aspect of Honorable Mtodi. It's wrong. Can you withdraw that? Can you withdraw that?
I withdraw, Speaker. As what is an
Now take your seat. Honorable Mtodi, please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. What I'm pronouncing are legal terms which are enshrouded in the legal profession.
Point of privilege. Point of privilege.
Honorable Speaker, if this bill passes with 2/3 majority and goes on to receive presidential assent...
Honorable Mtodi. It's Honorable
Johnson Matambo.
Johnson Matambo.
Ndinotenda mubati wechigaro. Musati magara pamuri ipapo, Speaker vazivisa kuti Sergeant in Arms vaende kunotarisa kuti ndiani ari kutemba nemagetsi. Tazoona ivo Speaker vachibuda mune inoimba, tikazoona Sergeant in Arms vauya. Tiri kuda kunzwisisawo sezvo zvataurwa mujikerere mimba ino kuti zvii zvingadaro zvichiitika, tinoitira ugaro hwedu mimba ino takachengetedzeka. Maita basa.
Order. Order. Honorable Matambo. Chisimuka ipapo. Mubure paje for 10 minutes munotsvaga kuti magetsi ari kusheva ari kupi. Budai. Chibudai panze. Ndati une lucky kuti ndati uchadzoka after 10 minutes, but next time audzoki. Chibuda havo unotsvaga izvozvo. Panapa tikuda kuita zvebasa. Andidira. Chiendai 10 minutes. Honorable Mtori, please carry on. Honorable Mtori, you may proceed.
On a point of privilege. On a point of privilege.
Honorable Mtori, please proceed.
Honorable
Amosa, please take your seat.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, say, how can you send someone outside? It's a security matter.
Please.
Mapurisa against state.
Honorable Amausa, if you are feeling threatened, you are free to leave the chamber.
Mr. Speaker,
no.
Speaker, someone is tampering with my gate. And the Mr. Speaker. Can
you take your seat? Honorable Amausa, let's not pull each other's legs here. The sergeant at arms is back seated right there. All right. If we had any security issues, we were going to articulate them properly to you. So let's not do it for grandstanding. We can't do that. We can't do that. No. Honorable Jigombo, can we respect each other? Can we respect each other? Thank you. Honorable Mtori, please go ahead.
Point of feedback, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is it painful to give us feedback? Is it painful to give us feedback? Thank you.
Honorable Magumire, like I said, if there was any issue or problem, it was going to be communicated. Honorable Magumire, let me assure you that we are very safe. And let me also assure you further that while we are safe, we are ably led by the President of Zimbabwe.
Thank you.
Honorable Mtori.
Of order. On a point of order. On a point of order.
There is no point of order because nothing has been said. I just put a ruling to say we are safe, so I don't know where your point of order arises from.
Mr. Speaker.
Your point of order does not arise at the moment. Please take your seat. Please take your seat. Honorable Mtori, please go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was in the middle of saying the governing doctrine is lex posterior delegate priori. A later law repeals an earlier one. Section 328 gives Parliament powers to amend this constitution. If this bill passes with 2/3 majority and goes on to receive a presidential assent, it becomes lex posterior to the current 5-year.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Duralax said lax. The law is
on a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
But it is still the law.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Zimbabwe, Mr. Speaker, has got 16 official languages, and Latin is not one of them. Honorable Mtori is debating in Latin, and we are losing him. Could you please kindly stick to the 16 languages of Zimbabwe? Thank you very much.
Order. Honorable Mavodzi. Honorable Mtori's debate has got graftings of legal language. And therefore, legal language, legal language is very much permissible here in Parliament as much as it is permissible anyway, even in the courts. Right? So, if you want to find out about all this, you go to your Hansard and you learn one or two things as well while you're at it. So it's a good thing for you. You now know a couple of words that you did not know. So please, allow him to carry on. Honorable Mtodi, please carry on with the debate.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On the issue of a referendum, I recognize the obiter dictum that has preceded the submissions in this House, and also some views widely shared on social media.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
I now propose
Point of order, Honorable
an
Speaker.
idealized ratio decident.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Order, Honorable Mtodi. Honorable Jigombo.
Yes, I've got a point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, I want to really follow what Honorable Mtodi is saying. I don't understand what is obiter dicta. Can you also then give definitions? Whenever I use a Latin word, can you define? I want to follow his debate, but he's saying obiter dicta. I don't even know what it means. Or else can you provide with us a translator?
Order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Like I said, if you want to follow Honorable Mtodi's speech after, you can check with the Hansard. There are explanations. Hold on. Order. And every time Honorable Mtodi uses the Latin expressions, he goes on to explain them. Are you not listening? No, it's allowed. Honorable Mtodi, please go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for protecting me. I now propose the idealized ratio decidenti that fits the final determination on this bill.
On a point of privilege.
Order.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
On a point of privilege.
Honorable Speaker.
On a point of privilege.
Privilege, Mr. Speaker, say.
Order.
On a point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Please take a seat, Honorable Mateo.
Please take
a seat. Yes, Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the only danger that I'm seeing here started yesterday when some members started attacking one honorable member who is a lady when she was debating, and we saw it today, and we are seeing it again, members just causing a lot of noise. Yes. We want to listen, and I think anyone who is keen on seeing us debating should keep quiet and sit down.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Whip. Honorable members, to what extent do you want to keep on doing this? Because we've all agreed here that no honorable member shall not get their chance to debate. So, which simply means that if you have any view contrary to what is being said by another member, you will have your turn to stand up and debate that. So these issues of points of orders and disruptions are not helping us at all. And even the people back there at home that are watching us on TV, what do they make of us? Honorable Mtodi, please carry on. You have got 5 minutes remaining.
On a point of privilege, Mr. Speaker, sir. No, it's important, Mr. Speaker, sir. Actually, the government chief whip has taken words from my mouth. I was going to say, Mr. Speaker, the path that we are now taking as this house is very dangerous. To the extent that even those who are supporting the Cape 3 will find it very difficult to think that this parliament will do something good for this nation. So I was thinking that we need to reach a compromise that may we say these issues of point of orders and what, they are now a thing of the past. Let's agree that even the Minister of Justice, who also, even when we make certain errors that are understandable, then he should also not lead in the point of orders, because we end up reacting, because we are the same people. Yes. No. What has happened, Mr. Speaker? From our side, it was a reaction from inaudible interjections that were coming from this side. So we think that as you have said, Mr. Speaker, and as suggested by the government chief whip, may we respect this house. And we also think that from this side, we can also be paid researchers for the ruling part. They can take some good advice from what we are going to debate. Right. So we want peace, we want to debate for the benefit of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Right. You've said a very mature thing that I hope all other honorable members can take and embrace. It's only good to have some sort of decorum, honorable members, and carry ourselves honorably. We cannot behave like hooligans because it doesn't then suit our status as honorable members. Honorable Mtodi, Honorable Speaker, I am going to allow you to enjoy your 5 minutes because you're being interrupted. Go ahead.
Due to the disruptions, Honorable Speaker, point of order. I will skip some of my part of my speech, Mr. Speaker, say, and would require that it be recorded in the Hansard, Honorable Speaker. Say, I now go to the clause on the security services.
Order,
changing from
order, Honorable Mutodi. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, say,
Honorable Matangela.
Say,
we just agreed that let's try and minimize point of
it's
order.
different, say. Very different. Ndaingokumbira kuti kana uchinge uri mumba ukanzwa chinenge chati kwatara unoda kutarira kuti uone kuti gonzo here kana kuti inyoka. Tiri kuona mafoto achipaima mudenga umu. Muri kuvazivawo here?
Order. Honorable members. Honorable Mtori, please wind up.
Due to limited time, Honorable Speaker, I now jump part of my speech to now go to the clause on security services, changing from upholding the Constitution to working in accordance with the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, on the clause changing the wording from uphold the Constitution to act in accordance with the Constitution,
point of order.
I must place it on record.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
That Zimbabwe has one of the most professional armies in Africa.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Arise in terms of order number 93.
Honorable Magumire, you cannot just stand up and start talking without being recognized by the chair. You can't do that. Thank you.
Since independence, our men and women in uniform have performed have been the bedrock to our peace, sovereignty, territorial integrity, and development in every sphere. They have discharged their duties with professionalism, loyalty, and dedication, even during years of economic collapse. However, Honorable Speaker, as we move from a purely presidential system to a fully blown parliamentary executive system, where the president is elected by parliament, the modus operandi must shift to suit the new normal. The doctrine we must adhere to is civilis sub lege, maius sub imperio. While citizens are under the law, soldiers are under command. When parliament elects the president, we entrench potestas parliamentaria suprema, which is the supremacy of parliament over the executive.
Order, you have 1 more minute to go.
If the military oath still says uphold or defend the Constitution, That old wording can be read as, we defend the Constitution against anyone who threatens it, including Parliament and the President. This gives the military a political role of guardianship. By changing the Act in accordance with the Constitution, we again answer the question, who guards the guards? The answer, Honorable Speaker, is the courts and not the barracks. Therefore, under the new law, the military's job becomes obeying lawful civilian orders from Parliament and the President, with constitutional disputes settled by the Constitutional Court. This prevents any claim that the military must defend the Constitution against parliamentary votes that it dislikes. Germany did it in 1956, and it shifted when it shifted to electing a chancellor accountable to Parliament. A parliamentary election of president makes the president accountable daily to Parliament under Section 97 and 98 through no confidence votes. If the military oath says uphold the Constitution, but Parliament can remove the president, we also create ambiguity. For instance, who does the military uphold when Parliament and the president disagree? Who does the military obey when Parliament removes the president? This new wording, obey orders in accordance with the Constitution, removes this contradiction. It harmonizes the oath with the new structure under the doctrine Tempus Regit Actam. The law must match the time and structure it governs. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge all members in this August House to support Constitutional Amendment number 3. Let us choose stability over crisis, procedure over speculation, and salus populi over partisan interest. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mtodi.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Karini.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Did you not agree to let this thing flow?
No, it's just a few minutes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ndine chichemo chandinacho. Mukatarisa listi ramuinaro, Mr. Speaker, rine vanhu vazhinji vari kuda kutaura. Vamwe takabvira nezuro tichingodawo kutaura asi tiri kutadza kuwana mukana. Mr. Speaker, kana tati nguva yemunhu i20 minutes, let's stick to 20 minutes so that we also allow others to speak.
Amene kuti mukuzitorera muchizevera kupi izvozvo because tiri kuchengeta nguva chaizvo asi chinhu chiri kudya nguva ma-points of orders asingaperi and inini sacheya panapa ndine mvumo yekuita indulge munhu kana ndira kumuindulge muchaziziva izvozvo zvirimo mu-standing orders endai munoverenga. Right. Order, honorable members. I wish to recognize the presence in the Speaker's gallery of the Vice Chancellor of the Harare Institute of Technology, Professor Engineer Kanukamwe, and his team. You are most welcome to the August House. All right, the next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable A. Gava.
Maita basa mubati wechigaro nekuti panguva yekuti nditsigire bhiri richangopinda muno mudare reparamende. Ndisati ndadomodza zvandinoda kutaura, ndinoda kuti nditende president vedu vamunangagwa nebasa guru ravari kuita muno munyika. Kana tichinge taura muno mudare reparamende, Mr. Speaker, tinenge tichida zvido zvevanhu kunyanya. Ndakamirira kwandinobva ndichimirira madzimai eMarsh West vanditi chiendai munopedzisa zvatakawirirana kumusha kusapota bhiri reke mubati wechigaro hanzi dzokoro ine simba. Tichitarisa pakuwedzerwa kwemakore mashoma anoita maviri, zvinhu zvakanaka chaizvo, nokuti isu muno mudare reparamende mamwe ma-MP edu vane maprojekti anenge asati apera. Saka zvakanaka kuti vanhu vanyatsopedzisa basa ravo vasingamhane.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order. Honorable Mateo, what is your point of order?
Thank you for indulging me, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, I thought we said we need to stick, like what the Honorable Minister said, we need to stick to the bill. This bill is, as they said, not about us per se. Now, when the Honorable Member rises and says we want to finish the projects that we were doing, we now wonder, is this bill about us or is it about fixing the Constitution? So the Honorable Member needs to stick to the bill, not what she is saying. Thank you.
Order. Honorable Mateo, I thought even the Speaker, when he was here, clearly articulated the issue of saying that there are so many ways of killing a cat. So, can you allow this cat to be killed in whichever way? The end result is that we want the cat to be killed. Honorable Gaba, can you please go ahead?
Maita mubati wechigaro, regai ndichienderera mberi pakusarudzwa kwapurezidendi nenhengo dzeparamende. Hapana chingatitadzise kuti tisarudze mutungamiri wedu wenyika, sezvo tirisu muno mudare tinodzika mutemo, tisi tinokwanisa futi kubvisa purezidendi. Saka hapana chinotitadza kuti isusu tive tinovaisa pachigaro. Hanzi nevamwe vaimbi kopai madhoi rakanaka. Takatasa paSouth Africa neBotswana, nhengo dzeparamende ndo dzinongosarudza mutungamiri wenyika. Saka isusu muno mutoda kutombokopawo dhoi rakanaka. Mubati wechigaro, handizogari pasi ndisina kutsigira nyaya yedu yegender commission. Nokuti munongoona kuti isusu madzimai tiri muno muparamende, ibasa ravo toda kuti irambe iripo, mazvita zvenyu.
Thank you, Honorable Gaba. The next Honorable Member to take the floor is Honorable V. Moyo.
Ngithanda ukubonga leli thuba somlomo wedale la parliamente ngisithi ekuseni enhle somlomo.
Ngiyabongeka kaMoyo.
Ngiyabonga. Isithanda ukuthi ngibeke umbono wami ngalesikhombisa sosekelo sombuso esiphambo kwaleli dale elihloniphekayo. Isisekelo sombuso siyimthetho yokuvumelana indlela okubuswa ngayo. Isekelo lombuso njalo yiluhlelo olusincedisa ukwebelana amandla ezigabeni. Bengikhangela ngiphenya lapha ke somlomo ngananzelela ukuthi ke kusukela ngo1979 lapho ke okwakulwela khona izibuse ngemva kwempilo kwahlalwa phansi ngamabandla ayekhona ngaleso sikhathi kwaxoxisana kwaba lindlela yokuhlela indlela yokuzayabelana ngayo amandla kusiqondisa ukuthi ngo1979 kwahlala phansi kwadala isisekelo sombuso esasikhulumisana ngaleso sikhathi esasikiso ngo1987 somlomo omhloniphekayo isizwe sasingamanga kuhle kukhona ingxabano kukhona ungaboni ngehlo elinye ngesikhathi ke esegugrawundi kwahlalwa phansi kwaba lendlela yokudinga indlela zokuphawula ukwabelana amandla indlela zokuphawula umbuso kwaya ngesikhathi sa ku 2008 sivela ekhethweni kwahlala phansi kwaxoxisana indlela zokuthi ke imithetho isisekelo sombuso siyabe siminjani ngo2017 kwahlala phansi futhi amabandla ekhona la namhlanje thina simila njengabebandla eliphikisayo sikhona eParliament simele ke abantu ke abasithumayo sidinga indlela yokuthi sibe lendlela yokuphawula lokwabelana amandla la ngendlela esizaphatha ngayo ke uzibuse wethu ngiqhubekela phambili somlomo bengithi ngiyendlale lokho engifuna ukuthi ngikhulume ngakho ngizaqala ke ngendima yesibili ekhuluma ngodaba lokuthi ke ngubani ozasiphathela umsebenzi wokubhalisa laba babe belesifiso sokuthi bayevota kumhlaba wonke jikelele kulendlela ezintathu ezinhle ezaphenywayo zananzelelwa ukuthi ziyasebenza nxa sidinga indlela zokubhalisa abantu ukuthi bavote indlela yokuqala indlela ke ethi khona ngemva kwesikhatshana kuyanikwa isikhathi abantu izakhamizi labahlali besizwe ukuthi bayebhalisa nxa befuna ukuthi bayevota eyesibili indlela yokuthi ke kuyabe kuhlala kubhaliswa ngaso sonke isikhathi indlela yesithathu eyiyo ke ungqongqoshe okhangeleke ngezomthetho lokugcinakala kwedala leParliament.
Honorable members, can we lower our whispers, please? Both sides of the house, can you lower our whispers and allow the Honorable Moyo to be heard in silence? You may carry on. Nga usomlomo ekhuluma mhlonitshwa Moyo uyahlala phansi uciche isidingo sakho andwana qede nxa eseqedile ke useza kubiza susukuma uqhubekela phambili sungaqhubeka emhlonishwa Moyo.
Uxolo somlomo ngiyavumela elikutshoyo bengisatsho ke indlela ke yesithathu yikunika ke ugatsha lukahulumende lolu ke oluphatheka ngokubhalisa ke ubhalisa ke abantu ukuzalwa kanye lokuhambisa kwamanye amazwe ugatsha njalo olubhalisa ngezokufa lolu mina ngibona ke kuyindlela efaneleyo kuba lula nxa kuyikuthi yilo ugatsha olungaphatheka ngalumsebenzi isizathu zami zimbili eyokuqala lapha ke engimele khona thina eWange West ikakhulu efollows isikhathi esibona khona ke laba basebenza lumsebenzi kungesikhathi nxa sesiya eduze lama election lawa ke maofisi siwathola eWange okulikhulu kusukela lapho esihlala khona ukuthi siyenze lumsebenzi So ngalendlela kuba lula ngoba sisebenzisa impahla kahulumende evele ikhona ebantwini. Yona ke ikomishini leyo ekhangela ke ngezama election yadalwa ngo-2004. Ngikhangela ke ngendlela abasebenze ngayo sonke siyavuma kanye lo ngqongqoshe ke uyavuma ukuthi ke kukhona ke lapha ke abahluleka khona. Sona isizwe sakithi sivele ke thina siyashota ngokwezemali. So angiboni kusiba ngcono kulalokho abakwenzileyo. Yikho ngisima ngalomcijo ukuthi ke lugatsha lwahulumende oluvele ke lukhangela ngezokubhaliswa lube yilo olukhangela ke ngezokhela. Indima enye mfuna ukuthi ngikhulume ngayo indima ke yesithathu kusikhombiso ke sesekelo sombuso. iZimbabwe ilizwe ke elisakhulayo kwezomnotho, elisakhulayo kwezombusazwe. Ngakho ke kuvamile ukuthi ke ngesikhathi kusiya ekhethweni siyahlukana ngemihlobo, sihlukane ke njalo sibe lohlupho lokuthi ke ugatsha olukhangela ke ngemsebenzi yokuphawula ke ezokhetho igcine ibuthakathaka ngenxa yokuthi imali yamele ibancedise iyabe isilela, kugcina kusenza umsebenzi wabo bengawenzi ke ngobunono. Bengiloyisa ke somlomo, ngiyahlonipha ke okubekwa lapha ke ngungqongqoshe malana ngokuthi ke amalunga edala eParliament abe lawo amandla ukukhetha ke umongameli. Kodwa ngingami khonapho ukhulumile ke ungqongqoshe wathi ke lo indlela yokwehlisa isikhudumezi ngesikhathi sokhetho. Bengiloyisa mina ukuthi hayi kasingakucinisi kumongameli, asikwehliseni kanye lamalunga ke edala eParliament kube khona ukuthi ke inani lamadala eParliament abuyayo lapha libe linani eliyabe litholwe ke yilelo bandla. Lokho siyakubona kwamanye ke amazwe anjenge South Africa esikhuluma ngayo esithi singakopa ngayo. Amalunga eParliament eSouth Africa abuya ngenani elabe litholwe ngalelo bandla elabe lihambile ephathini. Kuyindlela yokuthi sehlise ke isikhudumezi. So kasingakuqinisini kumongameli, asikwehliseni sibuye laseParliament.
Order, order. Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. I have an announcement to make. I wish to recognize the presence in the speakers gallery of teachers and pupils from Chovani Primary School in Chiredzi. Order. You are most welcome to the Augustas. You may take your seats.
No privilege, Mr. Speaker.
You may take your seats.
No privilege.
Order, order, order. Order. Is it because you are from Chirezi, Honorable Magomire? Yes, what did you want to say?
Ndotenda mbatu wechigaro Longo Moresa no constituents kwangu panapa.
Order. Order. Ndofunga vazinzwa honorable Makumire. Saka vachazotarisa kuti unoshanda sei pano nhasi. Honorable Moyo, please go ahead.
Ngiyabonga Somlomo ohloniphekayo. Ngiqhubeka ke ngizama ukugcizelela kumbono engilawo ngalindlela bengiyibalisa Somlomo akula khetho kumbe ngesikiwa ngithi akula vote engabi ke nomsebenzi kusitsho ukuthi lalaba ke abalamabandla amancane abantu nxa bethe bakhetha balelalo ke ithuba lokuthi beze bezohlala endaweni lapha ke okuphawula imithetho njengaleyi behlale lemakhansilini obabe bekhangela ke ukuzibusa ke emadolobheni ukukhethana ke nginani lwakhuthaza ukusebenza ndawonye kwamabandla wonke njalo ke kuyavikela liyana ngoba siyazi ukuthi ke eZambeni asifanani bakhona abanye abangomali yavuza imali yabiningi kodwa ngalindlela bafuna ukuthi bengene kulezi isikhundla nje ukuthi bazincedise mhlambe kumabhizinisi but ngalendlela akula nto engcwele ngakubeka ngalolu hlobo akula nto engcwele ngoba inani liyabe lisitsho yilo ke elenza ukuthi umuntu agcine ke engena ke kuma office indaba yami yokucina Somlomo ngizakhangela ke kundima yamachumi amabili lanye ekhuluma ke ngokuthi abakhokheli bethu bomdabuko bekwanise ukuphatheka ke kwezembusazwe siyazi ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi indaba zethu zombusazwe ezweni zicina siba ngumbangazwe bengilalele umbiko ovele ke kumgcini sihlalo wekomiti yokulunga ewuhlaziya lapha utshilo ukuthi induna lazo zeza phambi kwekomiti esimeleyo zabeka umbono wabo izinduna zona ngokwazo zathi hatshi ukuthi babe baphatheke kwezombusazwe bebona ngana kulunganga ngakho lami ngima ngombono wezinduna ngoba yibo njalo ke abasikhangelele kwezemasiko lokuhlala kuhle kwabantu so ngifuna ukugqiba ngalokho ukuthi hayi asiuhlonipheni umbono wezinduna ngibonga ngaleli thuba Somlomo ohloniphekileyo.
Siyabonga mhlonishwa Moyo ngokuyibeka icacile ngesintu sethu esigcweleyo khonokho siyakukhuthaza ukubana abantu bayale bekhuluma indimi zabo ngokupheleleyo ukwenzela ukubana sihlale silazo zingasiphunyuki wenze kuhle kaMoyo. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Esingwenya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice on this bill. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of people of Kokwe North, that is in Gumunyu, whom I represent, in support of this bill that is CAB number 3 of 2026. Section 141 and 328 of our Constitution place a duty on Parliament to consult people then legislate. That duty has been fulfilled, Mr. Speaker. The people have spoken through irrefutable matrix submission, figures, and public hearings attendance reflect that. Both confirm one thing: Zimbabwe chose stability, continuity, and development. I therefore urge Parliament to pass this bill. Figures, Mr. Speaker, presented in this House prove that extensive consultations were done. The consultations, the constitutional trustees consultation that was well done, the Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee confirmed that a total of 537,102 people were in support of the bill, and a meager 2,935 were against this bill. Mr. Speaker said, this figure of submissions is not tokenism. For context, it actually exceeds 5 rural districts combined in our country. Also, the 90-day window was real, and Zimbabweans used it to make their submissions. Mr. Speaker, when COPAC was tabled in 2013, we celebrated 1 million views over 2 years. But here, we had only 90 days focused submissions, and over 1 million, over 500,000 people made submissions. We have surpassed the figure that was in 2013, because it's just 90 days. We had people who are over 500,000 who made submission. That is meaningful participation. To ignore it is to ignore the Constitution. Public hearing figures show majority support. Mr. Speaker says numbers must be verified on the ground. So Parliament held hearings from 30 March to 4 April across all 64 districts. Even the independent observers like the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission acknowledged that the consultations were highly attended and included a broad section of women, men, youth, older persons, and persons with disabilities. Venues were publicized and were accessible, and facilities for written submissions were availed. Most critically, Mr. Speaker said, Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission indicated that across all monitored venues, most submissions were in support of CAB number 3. And to be particular, my district, that is Gokwe North, is an example where everyone supported the bill to continue progress until 2030. With these figures, Mr. Speaker, they indicate democracy. That is democracy at work, whereby democracy is majority rule, with minority rights protected. So the majority was heard and the minority was recorded. That is constitutional compliance. Mr. Speaker said, we are legislators, not spectators. Our job is to translate what the public has said into law.
Honorable Ngwenya, order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Ngwenya. Take a seat.
I think there is a reckless tendency by some member here to be calling people's names who are not part of this house. And I think our standing orders prohibit us talking about other people who are not in this house. So there is that honorable member who shouted that the honorable member debating is his speech written by somebody else who is not in this house. I think that's being very, very irresponsible.
Thank you, Honorable Government Chief Whip. All the honorable members. But where are we going to draw the line for respect and decorum, honestly, if we are going to behave that way? We can't micromanage you as if we are managing pupils from Chovani Primary School in Chirezi. They are even quiet and orderly. No, we can't do that. Please don't do that. I want to beg of you to actually exercise a bit of restraint and respect for each other, please. You may go ahead, Honorable Ngwenya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had actually indicated that as legislators, we are not spectators. Our job is to translate public will into law. The public will is documented. As I indicated, Mr. Speaker, that 470,117 submissions were received and were analyzed. There was high turnout in all 64 districts, and a cross-section of society was present, as I earlier indicated. The majority, as I said, were, as we all actually know, supported this bill, as also indicated by the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. And our people were clear in their message. They wanted development, stability, completion of Vision 2030 projects. So, in essence, to reject CAP 3 is to reject over 500,000 representative Zimbabweans who represented all our people. These people were all in favor of the bill, and it complied with Section 328 of our Constitution. So to pass CAP 3 is to honor Section 141, which speaks to public involvement, which was done. I therefore call upon all honorable members in this House to observe the will of the people. People have decided. Let us obey them as their representatives by passing this bill. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ngwenya. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable P. Moyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to share my views and support of this very important bill. I represent Mwenezi West. My contribution will be in two parts. First, I will touch on clauses 2, 3, and 4. And secondly, I will make a contribution regarding the proposal to abolish the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Mr. Speaker, regarding clause 2, which proposes that the functions relating to the registration of voters be transferred to the Registrar General's office, I concur with this and support this proposal, given that the office is the custodian of birth and death records in the country. This therefore means that the records will be accurate and up to date, which will enhance the credibility of the voters' roll. With respect to clause 4 of this bill, which provides that the election of the president is now to be conducted in Parliament, this proposal is most welcome as it aligns with practices in other countries within the region and elsewhere. Most of these countries have been mentioned before. In doing so, parliamentarians will be exercising the representative role bestowed upon them by other constituencies. The proposal to extend the electoral cycle and consequently the terms of office of the president, members of parliament and the council from the current 5 years to 7 years is also welcome. Different countries have different electoral cycles and presidential terms and presidential terms. This proposal is particularly important in recognition of the various achievements that His Excellency the President E.D. Mnangagwa has registered within the relatively short period he has been in office. Granting him more time will ensure that the economy benefits further from his servant leadership, while at the same time creating greater space for the country to concentrate on development rather than being preoccupied with short and recurring electoral cycles. Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to also add my voice regarding the proposal contained in this bill to abolish the Zimbabwe Gender Commission. I do so because history teaches us a simple but important lesson. Progress does not happen by accident. Equality does not emerge on its own. And gender parity is not achieved simply because we declare it to be our national aspiration. It requires institutions, it requires commitment, and it is dedicated mechanisms that wake up every day with one mission and one mission alone, to ensure that women and girls enjoy the full promise of equality guaranteed by the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, for many years, nations across the world believed that gender equality could be achieved simply by incorporating gender issues into the work of existing institutions. But over time, a different reality emerged. The reality was that when everyone is responsible for gender equality, too often no one is accountable for it. The reality was that gender concerns were frequently overshadowed by competing priorities. The reality was that despite good intentions, women continue to face barriers in political participation, economic opportunity, access to justice and decision making. And so the world learned a lesson. Mainstreaming alone is not enough. There must also be specialized institutions whose role sole purpose is to champion, monitor, protect, and advise gender equality. And advance gender equality, I take that again. That is why, Mr. Speaker, say the international community did not move away from specialized gender institutions if it moved towards them. The United Nations recognized this need when it established UN Women as the lead institution for gender equality within the UN system. The United Nations also maintains Commission on the Status of Women. The principal global body dedicated exclusively to advancing gender equality. The lesson from the United Nations is clear. Gender mainstreaming works best when there is also a strong specialist institution with the authority to coordinate, monitor, and hold systems accountable. Mr. Speaker said, the lesson has been embraced by our own continent. The African Union established the Women's Gender Development and Youth Directorate as the central institution responsible for advancing gender equality across Africa. But the African Union did not stop there. It created specialized mechanisms such as the Special Rapporteur on Rights of Women in Africa and AU Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security, because it understood that women's rights require focused attention, specialized expertise, and dedicated accountability mechanisms. In other words, the African Union itself recognizes that gender equality cannot simply be absorbed into broader structures and expected to flourish. Honorable Speaker Singh, across the continent, regional economic communities have reached exactly the same conclusion. The COMESA established a Gender and Social Affairs Division to provide leadership and oversight on gender issues. The East African community maintains a specialized gender community development and civil society sector. The IGAD created a dedicated gender department to support harmonized gender policies and mainstreaming efforts, while the ECOWAS Gender Development Center was established as a specialized institution focused exclusively on advancing gender equality within West Africa, just to mention a few. These institutions are different in structure, different in mandate, and different in geography, yet they all point to the same conclusion. When nations and regions, let me take that again. When nations and regions become serious about gender equality, they create specialized institutions to drive it. Honorable Speaker, even the European Union, often regarded as a global leader in governance, innovation, follows the same model. While gender equality is mainstreamed across all EU policies, the Union established the European Institute of Gender Equality as a dedicated institution responsible for research, monitoring, knowledge generation, and institutional support. It was recognized that the mainstreaming and the specialization are not competing ideas. They are complementary ideas. One ensures that gender equality is everyone's responsibility. The other ensures that somebody remains accountable. Honorable Speaker said, this is precisely the role played by the Zimbabwe Gender Commission The commission exists because drafters of constitution recognized a fundamental truth that equality requires a champion. It requires an institution that monitors compliance. Mr. Speaker, if the global trend is towards strengthening specialized gender institutions, why should Zimbabwe move in the opposite direction? If the world has concluded that gender equality requires dedicated oversight, why should we dilute that oversight? If others are building specialized institutions, why should we dismantle it? It is against this background, Honorable Speaker, that I respectfully urge this august House to uphold the continued existence of the Zimbabwe Gender Commission and reject any proposal that would abolish it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to add my voice to this very important constitutional amendment, Bill number 3. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Moyo. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable J. Makuvire.
Makadi Sachigaro.
Tinosimba makadimi.
Tinofara. Ndinotenda nimkana wa mandipa kuti ndiso mashoka angu maviri maererano nebumbiro redu ratakatarisana naro zuva ranhasi. Ini ndiri kuda kutaura pamusoro pezvikamu zviviri. Chikamu chekutanga chandiri kuda kutaura pamusoro pacho ndechekusarudzwa kwemutungamiriri wenyika. Inini ndinoti ndakasarudzwa nemadzimai eHarare province zvine mutsindo. Ndobva ndataura navo zvekare pakatanga nyaya idzi, vakandituma ivo neshoko rekuti sezvo murimi watakasarudza, endai munotitaurira kuti imi sedare reparamende vatakasarudza tinokutumai zvekare kuti pachikamu chinotevera kana bumbiro iri razopinda tinofanira kuti imi muve vatauriri vedu, isu sevasarudzwi tobva tatumira tosarudza president vedu vachibva mudare reparamende. Shoko rangu rechipiri ndoda kutaura pakuwedzerwa kwemakore. Makore edu 5 aya ndinoona zvakanaka fani kuti awedzerwe nemamwe 2. Sei ndichidaro? Ndinoona sokuti patinoita sarudzo dzedu apa tinonyanya kumarana, kutukana nehama. Zvinobva zvanovambukira kumakore 2 pa5 aya atagara tinawo. Zvobva zvakonzera kuti tirambe tichivavana tisati tagadzirisana. Saka pakawedzerwa mamwe 2 makore. 2 aya oita ekukumbirana ruregerero kutovana kudidi, 5 oita ekushanda. Toenda panyaya yemadzimambo. Ndinoona sokuti madzimambo edu ngatimbovapai nguva yokuti varambe vari mumusha vachitonga nyaya, vasingapindire munyaya dzematongerwo enyika. Ndotenda Sachigaro nekundibikana wakanaka kudai.
Tinotenda. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Tin Murira.
Maita henyu bati wechigaro nekundipawo mukana wekuti ndiisewo mashoko angu mashoma pamusoro penhau yakauya naminister Ziyambe. Tinoda kukutendai minister nekuti makauya nenyaya iyi nguva chaiyo. Regai ndichataurawo nyaya dzangu mbiri. Yekutanga inyaya yekuwedzerwa kwemutungamiriri makore. Regai nditaure ndichiti kunyaya kuwedzerwa kwemutungamiriri kwemakore maviri hakuna kuipa, nekuti tinoona kuti nyaya zhinji kana tikaenda kumaelection kune vanenge vasina kubvuma kukundwa, vanenge voenda kumadzitare 3 years dzichipera tozopedzisira toshanda makore maviri. Tinoda kuti tine maprojects akawandisa ari kuda kuti ashandwe. Saka maprojects iwayo kana makore maviri aya akawedzerwa akaita manomwe, zvakureva kuti nguva yakakwana yekuti ishandwe inenge yavepo. Maprojects iwayo anowanikwa achipera. Saka tiri kuti kuwedzerwa kwemakore maviri hakuna kumboipa, ngakuenderere mberi. Tiri kukusapota sekurehwa kwakaitwa nevemashist, madzimai ose atinotungamirira. Patakatenderera vaingoti cable 3 bho zvekuti. Saka isu kana vaiti bho zvekuti tinotitadzisa kuti isusu titsigire kuti amendment bill iroro ngariendere mberi chii. Toda kuenda zvakare pamusoro pegender commission. Iyo yakanaka kai. Regai nditi handisi kushora kuti dzibatane human rights negender commission, asi tinoda kuti ipiwe nguva yekuti ishande yakazvimiririra. Muchindionawo ndiri pano kudai kuti ndigone kutaura kudai, kudzidziswa kane gender commission iyoyeyo tiri kuimbaiwa, tiri kupiwa simba semadzimai. Saka tiri kuti ngaimire yega, isasangane nehuman rights. Inotibatsira zvakare isu semadzimai nevanasikana nana baba nevanakomana. Ani munoziva kuti chero kumusha uko madzimai aita akarohwa aitadza kana kunoripota vachitya kuti atikanoripota zvinonzi kudii. Asi nekuda kwekuburikidza negender commission yakatidzidzisa kuti kana uchinge warohwa enda unomhangara. Kunyange ana baba chaivo vakanga vakunyara kunomhangara kana vachinge varohwa, iko zvino vakutokwanisawo kuenda kunomhangara. Saka ndiri kuti cable 3 yakanaka zvekuti. Ndekuti zvandiri kuti yakanaka zvinoreva kuti patinosvika 2030 munhu wese anenge akura mupolitics, panenge pasisina kumarana. Tinenge taakutaura language imwe chete sevana veZimbabwe. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Honorable Makovire. Honorable Murira, sorry. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable W. Jonga.
Maita basa mbatu wechigaro nekundipa mukana uno. Chekutanga tinotanga neshoko rokuti nyika vanhu ndiyo nyika. Zvazvinoreva ndezvokuti ndisu tinogadzira mitemo yatinoda kuti tigorarama mairi, iyo mitemo yacho ichiraramawo zvakare matiri. Takaenda kumabhaibheri anoverengwa kunonzi kune Old Testament neNew Testament, zvichireva kuti panguva Jesu asati auya kune zvaiitwa. Jesu paakazouya akauya akashandura kuti aiwa chiita izvi. Saka ndo zvimwe chete neconstitution yatiri kutaura nezvayo pazuva ranhasi, kuti hatitadze kuivandudza zvichienderana nezvatinenge tichida kuti tigoita munyika medu, nokuti Zimbabwe ndo yedu. Ku constituency kwandinobva ku Mount Arun West vakandituma neshoko rekuti endai munopedzisa basa pedu takaita kare pekutaura pfungwa dzedu dziri maringe nekuti ngapawedzerwe mukana mumakore maviri, asi vakanga vatombopa chichemo kuti madi maita dziri 5 years. Ndakati ndichanoisa pfungwa dzacho kumberi, asi ndo chikumbiro chavanga vakaita, nokuti vanga vari kuona mabasa ari kuitwa munyika neunyoro huri munyika muno kuti Zimbabwe ine peace. Hatina mhirizhonga yatiri kusanganza nayo sezviri kuitika kune dzimwe nyika. Vari kutarisa zvakare mabasa ari kuitwa, paitaurwa nyaya yekunzi 33,000 boreholes dzinofanirwa kunge dzawanikwa. Ini kuconstituency kwandinobva kuMount Arun West vakasangana nerombo rakanaka. Ndine mawadzi anokwana kuita 11. Pamawadzi iwayo ose ari 11 hapana wadhi isina kukwanisa kuwana maVBU anogona kuita 4 kana 5. Kureva kuti vane tarisiro yekuti president vakaramba varipo, hurumende iripo yakaramba ichitonga, vane mukana zvakare wekuti villages akawanda anokwanisa kuwana maVBU, atoti village business unit, vanhu vachikwanisa kumwa mvura pamatepi. Takaenda pazvibhurani zviri kucherwa kuconstituency kwandinobva, ndava nezvibhurani zvinosvika kuma 35. Saka tarisiro yavo ndeyekuti tinogona kugumisa tasvika kana 100, kureva kuti dambudziko remvura hapana anenge achanwa mvura kana yemurwizi. Ini ndakata rombo rakanaka pane vanhu vakatenderera vachinzwa pfungwa dzevanhu vachitaura. Takaenda kunonzi kuPetchway, kune mumwe ainzi doctor akataura kuti election yekuno kuma Southern Africa kunoko inoita $47 pamunhu kana tichigadzira election. Kureva kuti kana muno tine vanhu vanoti vanosvika 6 million vari kuda kuvhota, takatarisa namba iyo inenge iri mari yakawanda yatinenge tatoshandisa panguva yekuti tiite election. Saka takapfuridzira zvedu kumberi kwemakore 2 kana 5 ari kudiwa nevanhu vekuconstituency kwangu. Aiwa, nyika yedu inenge yabudirira zvokuti matambudziko mazhinji tinenge tava kuita yokurota. Saka inini ndikuda kubata zvakare nyaya yevoters roll. Aiwa, hapana chakaipa kuti idzoserwe kwayakanga iri, nekuda kwokuti kune vakanga vangoitawo godo neshanje nokuvenga zita remunhu vasina kutarisa kukoshwa hwekuti anofanira kunge achichengeta makii yemota ndiani. Saka zvakaenda hazvo kwaregistrar, handioni pane chakaipa ipapo. Nyaya yemadzimambo, handioni pane chakaipa kuti madzimambo vange vachipindawo muno zvematongerwo enyika, nokuti vanhu vakangofananawo nesu. Saka vane kodzero dzekuvawo vanhu vanoitawo zvinonzwa munhu achida, nokuti zvakangofanana kuchechi kune vamwe vanhu vanoti ndinoda kupinda kuhamba kumwe atoda kupinda kwamugodhi haarambidzwi. Saka madzimambo hatingavati ngavasapinde muno zvematongerwo enyika nokuti vane kodzero. Toenda panyaya yedelimitation, ichokwadi panofanira kunge paine commission, nokuti zvakaitwa panguva yanga takaenda kusarudzo, mamwe emawadzi anoratidza kuti ane kakumbunyikidzana karipo. Saka pakange paine commission inongomirira nyaya yemiganhu, vanonyatsa kuita basa ravo pasina kumhanya nokuti ndonenge ava basa ravo chairo ravanenge vachiita. Naiwayo mubato wechigaro, ndinokutendai, maita basa, uyezve ndichitenda kuti vanhu vese vanga vakateerera mahonorables. Ndatenda.
Tinotenda. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable N. Batista or Batista?
Mashita basa mubato wechigaro.
Batista.
Batista.
Oh, Batista. Sorry, honorable member. Too much rain.
Maita basa mubato wechigaro nemukana wamandipa. Ndasimuka kuti ndisewo pfungwa dzangu pamusoro penhaurwa yakaunzwa mudare rino naminista webandiko reJustice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Kebu 3. Mubati wechigaro, pane nyaya yakataurwa mubumbiro iri maererano nenzira ichashandiswa kusarudza kwemutungamiri wenyika. Ndinoona zvakakodzera kuti mutungamiri wenyika asarudzwe nevamiririri vedare reparamende. Zvikonzero zvaita kuti nditi pfungwa iyi yakanaka ndezvekuti munguva inoitika sarudzo kunoitika mhirizhonga kupesana kwemapato ezvematongerwo enyika uye kushandiswa kwemari yakawanda yenyika. Tine dzimwe nyika dzakatikomberedza dzinoshandisawo nzira iyi pakusarudza mutungamiri wenyika. Naizvozvo tinotsigira pfungwa iyi. Nditenderei mubati wechigaro kuti ndiende panyaya yemakore manomwe akataurwa ekuwedzera nguva yekutonga kubva kuna president, vamiririri vedare reparamende nemakanzuro. Pfungwa iyi yakanakira kuti urongwa hwehurumende hunopfuurira mberi. Pane kugara tichiita sarudzo mari yenyika ichipera. Vanhu vanoshuvirawo kuuya kuzoita mabhizimusi munyika medu vanouya nekuti nyika yedu inenge ine runyararo. Ndisati ndagara mubati wechigaro, ndakamirira madzimai eManicaland panhaurwa yeGender Commission. Ndiri kuti dai yaramba iriko isaendeswe kuHuman Rights, nekuti nyika yedu inozivikanwa nekuweshasha pakuchengetedza bumbiro remutemo maererano negender. Mazvita.
Mazvita, Honorable Batista. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable A. Mahachi. He's not there. Right, the next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Mudzingwa. They're not there. Then the next honorable member to take the floor, Honorable Mahachi. Where were you? You may take the floor, Honorable Mahachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. A minute. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for affording me an opportunity to debate the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026, also referred to Escape 3, and to present the views of the patriotic people of Mutare North. As the representative of the people of Mutare North, I rise to lend my unequivocal support to all provisions of the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment Bill number 2023-2026, which in my considered view seeks to strengthen the architecture of governance, enhance institutional effectiveness, and advance long-term developmental aspirations of our nation. However, my debate will focus on the following provisions. Firstly, I support the proposal to extend the tenure of the President and Parliament from 5 to 7 years. The success of any developmental state is anchored upon policy certainty, continuity, and strategic consistency. National transformation cannot be fully realized within short political cycles, and often compel governments to divide attention between governance and recurring electoral processes. By extending the constitutional term of office, we create a more stable and predictable governance environment capable of sustaining long-term infrastructure development, industrialization, economic modernization, and social transformation programs. This amendment is therefore not merely about tenure. It is fundamentally about creating sufficient policy space for national development objectives to mature, consolidate, and yield measurable results. Secondly, I support the establishment of a dedicated Zimbabwe Electoral Delimitation Commission. Delimitation is one of the most technical and consequential processes within a democratic system, requiring specialized expertise in demography, cartography, population dynamics, and governance. By creating a distinct institution responsible for this function, the amendment strengthens the institutional professionalism, promotes administrative efficiency, and enhances public confidence in the delimitation process. It reflects a progressive appreciation that specialized functions are best discharged by specialized institutions, thereby reinforcing integrity of our democratic framework. And thirdly, I support the provision of empowering the President to appoint 10 additional senators on the basis of professional skills, expertise, and competence. Contemporary governance challenges are increasingly complex, require informed legislative scrutiny. Parliament must therefore continuously draw the knowledge, experience, and technical acumen of accomplished professionals from diverse fields. The inclusion of distinguished experts within the Senate will enrich legislative discourse, strengthen oversight, improve policy formulation, and ensure national decision-making benefits from a wider spectrum of specialized knowledge. In this regard, the amendment represents investment in legislative excellence evidenced by evidence-based governance. Fourthly, Mr. Speaker, I support the amendment expanding the jurisdiction of the Constitutional Court to hear matters involving points of law of general importance. In every mature constitutional democracy, apex courts serve not only as guardians of constitutional interpretation, but also custodians of legal certainty and jurisprudential development. This amendment empowers the Constitutional Court to pronounce itself on issues of significant public interest whose resolution may have far-reaching implications of governance, administration, and the rule of law. In doing so, it promotes legal clarity, strengthens judicial oversight, and contributes toward the coherent development of Zimbabwean jurisprudence. Fifthly, I support the consolidation of gender equality functions within the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission. The promotion of gender equality remains a fundamental constitutional imperative that must be pursued with the vigor and commitment. By integrating these functions within already established constitutional commission mandated to protect and promote human rights. The amendment seeks to enhance institutional coordination, reduce duplication of mandates, and optimize the utilization of public resources. More importantly, it reinforces the principle that gender rights are human rights and deserve protection within a comprehensive integrated human rights framework. At its core, a constitution must not only safeguard democratic principles, but also equip the state with institutional capacity, stability, and foresight necessary to respond to the evolving aspirations of its people. The provisions I have supported today are directed towards strengthening governance institutions, enhancing policy continuity, broadening legislative expertise, and improving the efficiency of constitutional administration. They speak to a vision of modern and resilient, resilient and development-oriented state capable of delivering tangible outcomes for present and future generations. As we advance towards the attainment of Vision 2030 and beyond, it is incumbent upon us to ensure that our constitutional framework remains responsive to national realities and supportive of sustainable development. Accordingly, I submit that these amendments represent a progressive refinement of our government's architecture and a strategic investment in Zimbabwe's long-term stability, prosperity, constitutional maturity. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, say I support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Honorable Mudzingwa in the house now? Honorable Mudzingwa? Oh, okay. So the next member to take the floor is Honorable Elmangwa.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you for the opportunity, well deserved. Indeed, I come as a representative of the people of Chinhoyi, and the people of Chinhoyi indeed did not mince their words. My experience of the last 100 or so days has been different from the one that has been painted predominantly in this House. Mr. Speaker, sir, the people of Chinhoyi started by not being happy by the fact that the consultations scattered the provincial capital, Chinhoyi. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'll be forgiven for concluding when I read that there were 1,472 rejection emails, to conclude that they all came from Chinhoyi. I'll be forgiven for saying that. Because, Mr. Speaker said, I took time intently over the time to interact with men on the streets, unemployed graduates, the war veterans, some of which reminded me that Chinhoyi is the birthplace of the second Chimurenga, and indeed not Garibaldi. The civil servants that whispered their thoughts, fearing reprimand, the carefree university students, the indigents, the elderly, and the disabled, the political activists, including those from the ruling party that cannot fathom Mangwa voting for their president. Mr. Speaker said, in the majority of the submissions, even in my family group, the consensus was that the bill is misplaced and takes away from the people rather than giving them anything. I will not labor on issues that have been ventilated at length by honorable members before me. I choose to restrict myself to a few angles. But before that, as I prepared for this debate, Mr. Speaker said, these words from one of our SRC leaders during my university days kept ringing in my ears, and indeed will shape my submission together with the pastoral letter from my spiritual fathers, the Zimbabwe Catholic Bishops' Conference. I am a proud Catholic, and I abide by the guidance that I was given. I start by quoting the bishops in their submission. They emphasized that they are merely speaking as a moral and civic voice. And they further said, a constitution is not just a legal document, but is a solemn national covenant born out of sacrifices, aspirations, and sovereign will of the people of Zimbabwe. As such, the constitutional amendments that we seek to do must strengthen.
Order. Yes, what's your point of order, Honorable Joe?
Mazvita, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Mangwa, zvavari kudebata pazviri zvakakepchwa neripoti yakaprezentwa naHonorable Chair wePortfolio Committee. So tobva tazviadopta, so hazvina need yoti vazvidzokorore munhu mazvita iyi.
Order. Ndichadzokorora zvakare kuti katsi inouraya nenzira dzakasiyana siyana sezvataurwa navaspika vedu. Saregai katsi ingourayiwa nenzira dzakasiyana siyana.
Hamuna kuinzwisisa, Mr. Speaker. Ndiri kutiko point yavo iri muripoti yekomiti, Mr. Speaker.
Order. I have already made a ruling. You may go ahead, Honorable Mangwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for asserting kuti kuchinhoi semakorekore tine maurayiro edu ekatsi. Saka semakorekore tichauraya tichidaro. As such, constitutional amendments must strengthen rather than weaken the safeguards public confidence in institutions. And indeed, Mr. Speaker, as I wrap up my introduction, allow me to quote the words from my SRC leader then. Pride always asks, is it popular? Greed always asks, is it beneficial? Fear always asks, is it safe? But, Honorable Speaker, the conscience always asks, is it right? As I proceed with my presentation, I'll be led by my conscience. Mr. Speaker said, as I listened with intent to Honorable Ziambi, who by the way is also from my province, I listened as he said the words that rang the same bell, and indeed the same bell as the jingles that we have been subjected to in the last 90 days. Mr. Speaker said, I will not take all the angles, but the majority of my presentation, I will talk to the notion that there is need for projects to be completed. And for projects to be completed, there is need for us to extend the term limit. Mr. Speaker said, I listened also carefully as the first presenter, Honorable Matema, came with a very sophisticated word of describing CAP 3 as a vector. As he described it as a vector, he said it's a quantity that is two things, direction and magnitude.
Order, honorable members, order. Take your seat when I say order. Can Honorable Mangwa please be heard in silence? Order. You may continue.
When Honorable Matema presented, he gave me indeed my eureka moment. I heard him speak of CAP 3 being akin to a vector. A vector, he started very well by saying it has two components, direction and magnitude. And indeed, this passes the test of science and engineering. Indeed, vectors have direction and they have magnitude. But as he proceeded, he then made a not so scientific postulation, Mr. Speaker, saying what matters is the direction. The magnitude does not matter. Mr. Speaker, as I present, I'm presenting it that the direction he speaks to is already specified in our constitution. When the president is elected, when I'm elected as a member of parliament, it's already known, Mr. Speaker, that I have 5 years as a president, I have 5 years as a member of parliament. Mr. Speaker, the direction is known. The president should develop Zimbabwe from when he took it to when he will return it to the next person. It is known, Mr. Speaker. So there is no need for us to worry about the direction. But, Mr. Speaker, what determined today whether I was going to be presenting this debate or not was the time that I left Chinoi and the speed with which I traveled to come to this august house. Mr. Speaker, this is the magnitude. You cannot ignore the magnitude. Mr. Speaker, there is a dangerous precedent that is being set by this house, that term limits are elastic. Mr. Speaker, I will proffer my departure in the direction that I have said. Allow me to caution as an engineer of the dangerous trajectory we are about to take. One excuse that has been widely used for extending the term indeed has been projects. Before I do that, I want to state it on record that the people of Chinoi I interacted with were adamant that whatever change you want to bring, please give us a referendum to put our views plainly. They are clear in terms of the duration of my term and that of the president, which they say should end in 2028. If we need a new mandate, we need to go back to them. They still want to directly vote for their president. Mr. Speaker, projects by their nature, they never have the same duration. One project lasts a month, another lasts 2 months, one lasts 5 years, the other lasts 25 years. Mr. Speaker, without a baseline of the common developmental project's length, there is no need to put an extension that has no correlation to the projects that we should achieve. Mr. Speaker, yes, for any project, indeed, the politicians, particularly the term of office, sets the clock for the project implementation as to what gets built and how fast it gets built. The mere thought that the term is elastic will make us drag and allow time to be lost. Allow me to debunk this logic by following 10 key points before proffering the solution. Mr. Speaker, as we progress as a country, we need to have developmental planning that is generational and not tied to one's political term of office. This proposition will further entrench what Zimbabwe has experienced over the years, where projects are prioritized for potentially to lure voters instead of their potential to change lives. Mr. Speaker, as I go to the second point, offices in charge of executing projects and not personalities should be encouraged. We should be at peace with coming to complete projects that were started by others and planning projects to be completed by others. There is nothing bad about it, Mr. Speaker. This is how nations progress. Mr. Speaker, as I transition to my third point, real nation building is not achieved in one term. And trying to achieve that in one term will simply keep Zimbabwe being fodder for respective politicians. Mr. Speaker, half of the projects I planned for when I was working for ZESA from 2006 to 2008, to date they have not been implemented. If there was a politician who insisted to remain the Minister of Energy, you would still be there today on the premise that the project has not been implemented. The third point is there is no one with monopoly to a new great Zimbabwe. Yes. Change of character will not change the script. If our project execution matrix is right, whoever takes office will simply fit in and deliver. Mr. Speaker said, I had an experience 10 or so years back when I was doing projects in Zambia. I was pleasantly surprised as I went into Zambia. I saw the roads, I saw the malls, I saw the marvelous work they were doing. And I asked, what did Zambia do right? The project manager I was working with, Mr. Speaker said, was very crude and said, we stopped the nonsense of keeping a president who's not performing. The project manager was emphatic, Mr. Speaker said, to say even if the president who comes in has all his weaknesses, you bring one good strength. And if you have 6 presidents with different unique strengths, we have 6 different areas. Case in point, in Zimbabwe, Mr. Speaker said, when the former president, Robert Mugabe, was here, he took us to school. Zimbabwe is known for its schooling. Zimbabwe is known for its educational indexes. Mr. Speaker said, we should not be encouraging people staying beyond what is necessary in office if we want Zimbabwe. Mr. Speaker said, my first point, project planning and project management is a role of technocrats within municipal ministries and not politicians. It's those get permanent employment and not us politicians. Ours is merely to do groundbreaking and to cut the ribbon when the project is finished. The fifth point, Mr. Speaker said, ordinarily projects that in Zimbabwe we burden our head of state with groundbreaking and commissioning. Elsewhere in the world, for example in South Africa where I spent some bit of time, these are projects that are commissioned by councillors and mayors. Mr. Speaker said, I'm not sure if we have any project that is worthy forcing a person who has already served 2 terms to stay on to cut the ribbon. Mr. Speaker said, if we are serious about progression, Mr. Speaker said, allow people to progress, and naturally the term would end as a deadline. Mr. Speaker said, if this logic stood, then President Banana or even Prime Minister Mugabe should still be in office, because the power plants that we are doing currently were planned during the Smith regime, and some of them were planned in the early 80s. Mr. Speaker, allow me to transition to my 7th point. This thinking will elongate projects that ordinarily should have taken shorter to implement, as no 2 projects have the same duration. Number 8, the key reason for failure to complete projects is not elections. It is funding and allocation of projects to parties and people with no capacity to implement such projects. The Harare Bridge Road has not been completed in 8 years, Mr. Speaker said, and adding 2 years will simply make it another 2 years to make it 10 years. The ninth point.
Order, you've got 3 minutes remaining.
The ninth point, Mr. Speaker, a longer time with the same leader who has bias with a certain area will result in stunted growth. To no operators in a quash, Mr. Speaker. A typical example is in Zimbabwe. Currently, Harare has built a trabablas. Now we're going to Maputo for another trabablas when Chinoni needs water. Mr. Speaker said, bringing different characters brings different areas. Mr. Speaker, allow me to go to my solutions. I'll quickly go to the solutions without expanding. How do I propose we remedy this dilemma of continuity risk and the long-term project struggles. Number one, consistency in policy budgeting and leadership. State projects should be state projects instead of party projects. To away with the doubling of project presidential. Then dealing to make strong non-political institutions. Tasked with project inception right through to commission. Number three, who was the chief then of Mashonaland Central, the biggest chief for that matter before the whites came, and was removed because of politics, and was restricted to have mission to become a headman. I insist that chiefs are a no-go area. And whoever does this, let us go to the mountains. The parliament we sit on today used to belong to the Shumba Simboti clan, which is where I belong to. If anyone doubts, let's go to the mountains by Mazoe and see if we come back with the same resolution. I submit.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker. Point of privilege. Order. I have a point of privilege. Yes, what's your point? My point of privilege, Mr. Speaker, is that this is quality debate. Something that we expect from honorable members. I humbly request, Mr. Speaker. Order, Honorable Magumere. Order. I humbly request for 2 minutes. Order. 2 minutes. Order. Honorable member, order. Honorable Magumere. That is not in your space to comment that. That is my job as Speaker if I have to. So don't use up my powers here. Thank you. No, you can't talk about privilege yangu yanga ile kukumbira nguwa ndazoresha yangu pakuti ndati this is quality. Kana ndaresha ipapo zvakanaka izvi sorry. Asi ndati sorry mubati wechigaro kana ndaresha kuti zvakanaka zvaisharwa pana baba. Ndakumbira kuti dai mavawedzerawo 5 minutes mubati wechigaro. Nyaya dzakanakira nyika dzavari kurova idzi ndatenda.
Objected. Who seconds?
I second, the Speaker seconds.
Thank you. Any objections?
I object. I object.
Objection.
Sir.
Objection. Honorable Speaker said, yes. Remember,
right. Thank you very much, Honorable Makumire. Your request has been objected to. The next honorable member to take the floor is Honorable Isamambwa.
Maita basa mubato chigaro nekundipa mukana unoyu ende ndafara stereki nekuti ndaona honorable wabva kutaura wambobata nyaya yemadzimambo. Kana ukaibata uchiudziwa unobata zvisiri izvo, bata uchibva mumba yacho utaurirwe chokwadi. Regai nditange nekutenda minista wedu vaziyambe nekuisa amendment bill iri munomu kuti tibate. Regai nditange kubata Mr. Speaker, ini ndinobva kukwekwe, constituency yangu iri Zhombe. Kwekwe ine ma-MP aya andichataura panapa. Zvandiri kutaurira Mr. Speaker, ndiri kutaura kuti mubati wechigaro munhu wese tive tiri pamwe chete. Ina honorable Nyevera, ina honorable July Moyo, ina honorable Chokurama, ina honorable Tobayiwa, ina honorable Madzivanyika, ina honorable Samambwa. Ndataura mashoko aya nechikonzero chekuti takaungana tiri pamwe chete tose. Vanhu vedu 36 takadaiwo vakaungana pamwe chete. Saka ndaitira kuti kana ini ndikataura ndopoya ndakutaura zviro zvakataurwa nevanhu. Zvakataurwa nevanhu ndo zvandakutaura iye zvino.
Wataurwa muzvikuru zvakapasi wataurwa.
Order.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Take your seat and switch off your mic.
Saka. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Samamba. Order, Honorable Samamba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Madziwaniga. Please take your seat. Honorable Tobayo, were you standing on a point of order?
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes.
Ndinoda kutenda mambo wangu vanogara kuzhombe vataura zvakanaka nenhau yekwekwe. Asi pavahotsanangura mazita ema-MPs ndofunga ipapo ndakajambwa nechikepe. Ndandisipowo pavanhu vavataura pakagavhwa zvakagavhwa vekwa.
Order.
Maita basa nekundichengetedza. Ndanoda kutaura kuti vemangu mandinobva ndakasa ndaona hwaro hwacho hwataugwa namambo wavakataura. Ndinotenda nekuti ndimambo vanotifukidzira tose, asi mumusha mangu zvanga zvisati zvasvika. Maita basa mubato wechigaro.
Tinotenda. Ndofunga pamwe ndosaka vasina kudoma zita renyu nekuti vanga vasina kusvika kwenyu. Saka Honorable Samamba, please.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, say.
A point of
order.
Point of order.
Yes.
Where does it arise from?
It arises from the contribution by Honorable Samamba.
What is your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Say, Mr. Speaker, we are in this August House to represent our constituencies. Let every MP speak of his own constituents. He must not put words into my mouth. I am here to debate on individual constituents. He must focus on Jombe constituents. I thank you, Madam Chair. And to speak for myself when I'm here.
Order, members. I did not hear Honorable Samamba mentioning your name. He did. No, it's okay. Order. I think Honorable Samamba probably is speaking from the truth of the matter of what happened at that occasion. Honorable Samamba, please carry on.
Maita mubato wechigaro nekuti defender. Asi regai nditi ini ndobva kuzhombe asi zvinhu zvakaitirwa mukwekwe ndo makaungana vanhu vese. Saka kana voramba havo vanenge vachiramba muno, asi tose ini hakuna vanhu vakaungana kuzhombe, vanhu vakaungana mukwekwe. Mubato wechigaro. Saka ndikutaura zvekwekwe.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, say.
Order. You are going. Your name is here on the list. You will debate if the honourable member order. If the honourable member is saying something that you do not attest to, you are going to have ample time to put your own view and clarify issues. But we cannot keep on doing points of orders because somebody saying, because he's talking from where he was and what he experienced and everything. So you will also take your seat. You will also get that opportunity to do the same thing.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, say. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, say.
What's your point of order now?
The point of order arises from the decision passed by the Speaker who was ahead of you, Honorable Mtenda. Honorable Mtenda says, do not make statements which are not profane in this house. Or the honorable member is making statements against my name which are not, whose evidence has not been brought before you. And we don't know what that kind of situation as a ruling has been made already. The honorable member should just focus on his views and what he observed. And I also have my reservations. I thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order. Honorable Samamba, go ahead with your debate. You may go ahead.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
There is no point of order because the order member is not saying.
On a point of privilege. On a point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of privilege?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The decorum of Parliament is, if a ruling has been made, then it should be consistent. Honorable Mdenda, the Speaker of Parliament, made a ruling when Honorable Chigumbu was debating. And he made it to the effect that if someone brings a statement that's not substantiated, it should be withdrawn. Honorable Samambwa is bringing issues which cannot be verified. And he must withdraw because we can't verify that. He can't continue to debate when he has brought issues when he's actually deliberately misleading the House. That cannot happen, Mr. Speaker. Let's be fair.
Order.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order.
Okay.
Honorable Mavud, I am the chair at the moment, and I made a ruling. Honorable Zamamba, you may go ahead.
Tinotenda mubato wechigaro. Regai nditende. Tese tinobva kukweko ndotenda nevanhu vevamwe vakauya vaivepo.
Point of clarity, Honorable Speaker. Point of clarity.
Honorable Jugumu, please take your seat.
I want clarity, Honorable
Please
Speaker.
take your seat, Honorable Jugumu.
I want clarity.
Please take your seat. Honorable Jugumu, please take your seat. Go ahead, Honorable Samamba.
Tinotenda mubato wechigaro. Regai nditange kubata nyaya yemadzimambo first. Kuti vanofanira kupinda mune zvematongegwe enyika. Mubato wechigaro. Vagara varimo madzimambo mune zvematongegwe enyika asi kuti vanga varimo vakatovanzwa. Ini nekuti ukaona munhu mubato wechigaro.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
What is your point of order, Honorable Jugumu? Order, Honorable Samamba. Order. Take your seat. Order. Yes. What is your point of order?
Ndiri kuti mashoko avasamambwa haasi echokwadi. Madzimambo haasi mupolitics. Dai anga arimo, dai tisiri kutombotaura nezvekuti vapinde. Saka ngavataure chokwadi, madzimambo haasi mupolitics. Full stop, tatenda.
Order.
Point of privilege.
Order, honorable members. Take your seat. Order. Honorable Chigumbu, if I understood Honorable Samamba's connotations properly, he said the chiefs, like anybody else, are voters. So somehow they are into politics. So you need to understand that very well. And besides, like I said, and I'll keep on saying it again, there are so many ways of killing these cats. So please, Honorable Samamba, please carry on.
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair.
Order, Honorable Samamba, yes, Honorable Karigoga.
Mazvita, Honorable Chair. Zita ramanyanyotaura kana kuti izwi ramanyanyodoma nhasi order. Rechituru racho ndi Honorable Chigumbu. Honorable Speaker, since morning, Honorable Chigumbu is disturbing our work here. Imboitai plan now.
Point of privilege. Point of privilege.
Order.
Point of privilege, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable members, if you read this book, it will guide you on how you ought to behave in this house. And if by any reason the chair, the speaker, believes that you are being disorderly on purpose, the book actually prescribes that the speaker must chuck you out of the house. But we are debating a very important bill here, and it's not my desire or any other speaker's desire to have anybody removed from the house, because we want everyone to be part and parcel of this debate. But don't twist us to a point whereby we might end up being mad to stick to this, to the latter. So please be guided accordingly. disorderly behavior is not permissible in this house. And this book states that very clearly. Please. Honorable
Point of privilege, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Samamba, please go ahead. Please
Point
take
of-
your seat.
point of
Honorable
privilege,
Zigombo, please take your seat.
It's a point of privilege.
No, please take your seat.
My name has been mentioned.
Please take your seat.
I've got a point
Please.
of privilege.
May you take your seat?
My name has been mentioned. I'm failing.
Honorable Zigombo, please take your seat.
It's a point of...
No,
Zvanyanya izvi.
a point of order of what?
On a point of order, Mr.
Aiwa, zvanyanya izvi.
Honorable Zigombo,
I'm saying point of privilege.
when I make a ruling, you cannot make a point of order from
Ndechekuita
that.
sei kumbogara pasi timbodhibheta manje.
Please take your seat.
Aiwa.
Please. Honorable Samamba, please go ahead.
Tinotenda mubato wechigaro. Pandandichibata nyaya madzimambo mubato wechigaro. Hakuna angati mamambo hamo mupolitics kana munhu mubato wechigaro achisimuka achienda kunovhota anenge achinovhotera ani.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker.
What is your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, Section 281, subsection 2 of our national constitution says that chiefs, traditional leaders, should not act in a partisan manner. They should not further the interests of any political party. As it stands, Mr. Speaker, as it stands, before this bill passes, it's unlawful for chiefs to participate in political activities. So whenever the honorable member is saying that they are chiefs who are participating, it means they are doing is illegal. Who are those chiefs? Action must be taken against the abuse of our constitution. So he must withdraw that because he is putting chiefs at risk. That's wrong. You must not expose our chiefs who are doing well.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order. Honorable members, order. When an honorable member stands up to put a point of order, before the speaker makes a ruling, you cannot stand up and make another point of order. I want us to do it properly. So, Honorable Madziwanika, Honorable Samamba is stating a factual thing that all people are voters, including chiefs. So he did not say they are politicians. He said they are voters. Now he's advocating for them to freely exercise their rights as politicians as well. And it's his debate, it's his time. When your time comes, you make your own debate. Honorable Samamba, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, say I wish actually to put forward before this House.
No.
It is a clarity issue, Mr. Speaker, say.
Order. I don't expect that of you at all.
House is automatically adjourned, Mr. Speaker, say. It's 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Honorable Samamba, please go ahead.
Maita basa mubato wechigaro.
No. Mr. Speaker, say.
Point of order.
Pane chindishamisa chamasiya chichiitwa na chairperson veMines Committee avangadaiso kuna honorable speaker. Zvinodzidzisei kwatiri, zvinorevei muhouse muno, havagoni kudai kuna tosiya vakadaro.
Iwe ndiwe rudaro.
Ndo vanhu vachavhotera here president ivava.
Order.
Aiwa.
Awa ndofunga honorable Matangire vakachirwa nhunzi yakachifura. avangaite hori vakadaro vaona nhunzi vakada kuidzinga. Honorable Samamba, please go ahead.
Tinotenda mubato wechigaro.
Point of privilege.
Honorable Samamba, take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable Samamba.
Point of privilege.
Yes. What is your point of privilege?
Ndinotenda mubato wechigaro nekunipa mukana uno. Nguva yavasamambwa tichitarisa panombo dzedu pano zvinoratidza kuti yakwana. Tamira vachidhibheta kwenguva yakati rebesei. Ndinotenda.
Order, honorable members, Honorable Samamba, you may continue. You've got 5 minutes remaining.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker, sir. Torango clarity.
Order.
Clarity, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Order. You can't make a point of order from nowhere. Wait. Honorable Samamba, go ahead.
Regai ndikutendai mubato wechigaro. Ini ndinotsigira kuti madzimambo ngaregwa apinde mune zvematongerwo enyika nekuti vanga vakatokanirirwa kodzero dzavo. Regai ndibate nyaya yekuwedzerwa. Regai ndibate nyaya yekuwedzerwa kwemakore emutungamiriri wenyika, enhengo dzeparliamendi, emakanselas. Kuti dawedzerwa makore kubva pamashanu kuenda pamanomwe. Handioni chakaipa ipapo. Nekuti munhu wese.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. On a point of order.
Order.
Haana kupfeka zvakanaka, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Unotaura mazero. Utaurira mazero iwe.
Order.
Nhumbi dzamakapfeka hadzisi dzeparamende. Nhumbi dzakapfekwa idzi.
Order, honorable members. When I say order, take your seat. It's a simple cardinal rule. Honorable members, we can't keep on doing points of orders. Hello, order. I know that point of orders are allowed, but I'm saying, as honorable members, honestly, are we going to keep on interrupting someone from speaking? What is your point of order?
Mazvita mbato yechigaro ina anambotaura. Mbato yechigaro. Mbato yechigaro. Mashoko.
Hembe dzakapfeka idzi, hembe dzakapfeka tarisa yapo.
Mbato yechigaro.
Yes.
Mashoko ari kutaurwa na Honorable Samambwa taida kuti vagadzirise nyaya iri muconstitution yavari kutyora. Constitution inotaura iyo kuti madzimambo they are part of my judges. Ndo wane yatinoti kangaroo court. Havasi ma politicians. Ipapo ndo vandada kuti vagadzirise ipapo mazvita.
Order. I thought I made a ruling on that and you're coming on a point of, and yet you are a learned colleague. You are out of order. You are out of order. Honorable Samamba. Order, Honorable Samamba. Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Honorable Speaker, I think if you followed Honorable Samamba since he started debating, he has not completed even 3 statements. Yeah. Meaning, if we are going to reduce his time because you have some big mouth somewhere, it will not help. If they continue making noise without allowing to debate, we are prepared to sit in this house until he has been given time to debate.
Order. Honorable Madzwaniga, order. Honorable Gumbo. Maneta Ogarabalaba. This is your last warning. Honorable Samamba, you may go ahead.
Maita basa mbato wechigaro. zvatiri kutaura muno mubato wechigaro zvinhu zvatiri kuda kuti zvimwe zviamendwe muconstitution yedu noti kuti zvagara zviripo dei zvazvagara zviripo dei tisingazvitauri muno. Saka regai ndibate ndakadai mubato wechigaro ndoda kubata kuwedzerwa kwemakore. Vanhu vanozotora nepasipo voti kuwedzerwa kwapresident aiwa kuwedzerwa kwemakore pana president pana MP pana kansela kubva mumakore 5 kuenda mumanomwe. Ini ndinotsigira izvozvo. Zvazvakanakira ndezvekuti izvezvi kutaura kudai nevamwe veduwo vanganyanya zvavo kutaura but kumisha uko vanhu havachina rugare havana nguva yekushanda nekuti makore mashoma. Tese tiri kufarira kuti makore avo aendawo pamakore 9 tinomira nazo. Regai ndinde panyaya yekuti parliament nhengo dzedare reparliament dzisarudze president nesenate. Kana munhu akasarudza munhu ndiye ane kodzero futi yekumubvisa. Haugoni kuita kodzero yekubvisa munhu wausina kusarudza, asi kana wamusarudza wapiwa simba kuti ugone kumubvisa. Regai nditi ipapo ndinoitsigira kuti president ngavasarudzwe nenhengo dzeparliament nedzesenate kuitira kuti kana vavabvisa vasacheme-cheme. Uyezve ndakambodzidziswa kweduko kuti munhu anoramba mukadzi ndiye amunyenga akauya naye pamba. Kana wana aripo unorega muridzi wawo kusvika amuramba. Saka ipapo toda kupabata. Regai ndibate nyaya yekubviswa yekurejistwa kuti ide kwaregistrar ichibva kuzeki. Munhu nemunhu paanozvarwa kwaregistrar ndokwaanononyoresa, paanofa kwaregistrar ndokwaanonyoreswa futi ikoko. Tinoona mumaconstituency matinobva munoona muvoters roll rine vanhu vanosvika kana 1000 vakafa kudhara. Vanoziva kufa kwemunhu nekuzvarwa kwemunhu ndevekwaregistrar. Saka ndachimbokumbirawo zvigare zvaendiswa ikoko kune vanoziva zvakesari zvoenda kuna kesari kuitira kuti saite dambudziko rekuti tinozosangana nevakafa kare vave kuiswa pamavoters roll vachinzi vanovhota. Chiregai ndipese nekuti ndokuka pandachida kubata pati wande, asi regai ndipese nchiti ini sa-MP wokuzhombe ndinotsigira.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. No, to that way.
Order.
No, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, Amausha. You want to stand on a point of order according to standing orders number what?
65. Mr. Speaker.
So, no, read it out to me.
Iverenge papo.
Right, 65 which part? 65 which part?
How is he?
Mati.
Mr.
Speaker says standing order number 65, subsection 1, a member who is of the opinion that the rules of procedure have been breached by another member may raise a point of order. In this case, Mr. Speaker, I have noted that there is a rule of procedure. Ordinarily, I don't want to raise a point of order since my earlier argument. But there is something that is glaringly dangerous that was said by Honorable Samambra, which also goes in sync with what Honorable Speaker Advocate Jacob Mudenda said. Honorable Samambra, I ask you to sit down and rules are rules. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Samambra says dead people have been voting, which is dangerous because he must prove, and there was an argument that there was violence by ZANU-PF members, and the Honorable Speaker said you must prove that, and then you allow him to continue after alleging that dead people were voting. So were we losing on the presidential because there were some people who were voting but they are dead?
Order. You probably didn't understand him very well, Honorable Amausa. He never insinuated that at all. Honorable
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
I think if we allow if you indulge me, if we allow Honorable Amauswa to misrepresent to that level, then we become a circus. We are no longer a parliament. He said in the voters' roll you will find names. He never said they would vote. So this type of misrepresentation is either sponsored or he is losing his mind.
Order.
This is dangerously unfair, Mr. Speaker. But this should not be allowed, Mr. Speaker. You cannot say I'm losing my mind. I'm raising a point that he said. Are we agreeing that our voters know as dead names?
Order, honorable members, order. Can we have order in the house? Order, honorable members. Order. Can we have a bit of silence in the house? Honorable Samamba, you may continue.
Tinotenda mubato wechigaro. Regai ndipese ndichiti ndandati inisa Honorable Samamba wekuzvombe ndinotsigira bhiriri nekutsigirazve kuti madzimambo arambe arimo ende apinzwe mupolitics sezvatiri pasaita anosara vasadzvanyirigwe ivo vachinovhota vanonovoterani kana vasimwa mupolitics.
On the point of privilege, Mr. Order. I recognize the leader of government business.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I move that debate to now adjourn.
Thank you. It has been moved that the debate do now adjourn. Is there any debates? I put the question that the debate be now adjourned. Those who are of that opinion will say aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed and the debate is adjourned. To what day, Honorable Leader of Government Business?
Tuesday next week, Mr. Speaker, sir.
To Tuesday, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House do now adjourn.
Thank you. It has been moved that the House do now adjourn. Is there any debate? I put the question that the House do now adjourn. Those who have that opinion will say aye. Those of the contrary opinion will say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The question is accordingly affirmed and the House is adjourned. To what day, Honorable Leader of Government Business?
To Tuesday next week, Mr. Speaker.
The House is adjourned to Tuesday. Have a great weekend and travel safely to your constituencies. Order, honorable members. You can't keep on being reminded that as long as the Speaker is not getting out of that door, the House is still in session. Order.